absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and pull one of those. All right. Welcome, everybody, to session 3 of Gods, Ghouls, and Grimms. On our last session, the group brought back the lost child, Jezbin, back to his mother and the recently returned father, Jeremy. Jeremy thanked the group for saving his child. Sorry.
Get it all out. There you go. Get it all out.
Jeremy thanked the group for saving his child, and then the group went on to report back to the mayor for what they found as far as Gabriel was concerned and what happened with the creature. After some shenanigans and Glub's intense interest in agricultural history, all of a sudden, the group was able to find out some information as to the theological beliefs of the region and how they might relate to the events. Reporting back to Jeremy, they told him what he wished to know, as he had requested, and allowed the man to investigate the area while sending Glub to trail him. Eventually, Glub was found out by Jeremy mid-investigation, and he revealed himself to be what appears to be some sort of royal ranger of some sort. He informed her that the rest of the group were more than welcome to join him in his investigation, since they're responsible for saving the village, potentially, as well as his child. And when the group did reconvene, even though most of them were somewhat inebriated, he informed the group that a lot of strange occurrences have been happening in the region just in general. He informed them that he would need some time to get a better idea as to what to do moving forward, and he'd let them know once he had a clearer understanding of the situation. The group spent some time, in the meantime, helping out the town by finding a new head hunter since the previous one had been killed by Gabriel. Finding the next viable candidate, they found that he'd been demoralized after having been almost killed by a massive creature in the forest. The group then went to the forest and found the lair of the creature, a huge constrictor snake in the size of a building, and laid a trap. Unfortunately, before the trap could be sprung, the snake had found Glub in her hiding spot and attacked. After a fierce battle, the team took down the snake and skinned all the scales off of it, brought him back to town, and let the hunter know that he had nothing to worry about moving forward. And that brings us to today. So, you've all come back to town. You've all brought the scales back to town. You've informed the hunter as to what's going on. What's the current course of action?
I would like to get Glub healed.
That is an option. You could do so by doing a rest, or you could do so by stopping by at the church and spending a little bit of money.
We're resting.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. What's his name? Justin was his name?
The ranger?
Yeah.
Jeremy.
He said it would take him a little bit of time to figure out what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can rest in the meantime, and then maybe by the time we're done, he'll have some clearer answers for us.
All right.
We already sold the scales, correct?
Shit,
Did you?
I don't remember.
Oh. I think we did, right?
I think you said you were going to. I don't remember if you did.
I don't think
because now we have 100. Because I have 170 gold now. I remember we got quite a bit of gold. Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, I want to say we sold the scales.
I think, I think you did.
Okay.
All right. So bro's just gonna go. He's gonna take a quick little peek at the plants in the courtyard and everything else like that. A little meander around, and then after that, just go ahead and gonna rest up himself.
Yep. I'm just gonna head to a bed and chill.
Same.
Huh. The jukebox isn't working. Very strange. Well, that's annoying.
Look, you tried. That's all that matters.
Bothering. All right. So you guys are going to go ahead and settle down, hunker down a little bit, and just sort of rest and relax and get everything situated again. So you guys spend a few days just sort of relaxing in town, doing what you do, whatever your average activities day to day are. Just try not to overexert yourself too terribly much. Sort of do a little bit of exploration around the town, get familiar with all the different people around the town. But for the most part, Glub appears to be more sticking to some bed rest since having been extremely injured by the constrictor snake beforehand. Eventually, after a few days, you guys are approached by Jeremy. And he sort of meets you guys during your lunch that you're sort of enjoying at the inn. And he sort of waves at you guys as he approaches and sits down with you and says, "All right, I have some new information, and well, I've got some new orders that I think you guys might be able to help me out on, if that's okay."
Sounds good to me.
The one thing that I did find out somewhat new, I didn't really think to check this, but having examined the dead bodies a little bit more closely, I was able to note that apparently all of them had their hearts removed for some reason.
Jesus Christ!
Now, I'm not entirely certain why, but it does make some sort of sense. Gabriel, in his time when he was alive, was fairly renowned surgical master. So reviving him or bringing him back or anything along those lines, if they wanted to do some sort of major surgery of some sort, then he would be the main person that would be able to do something like that, especially if it was something as macabre as this. So I'm guessing that's probably one of the main reasons why he was brought back in the first place. So we have that to work off of, which unfortunately doesn't tell us too much more other than the fact that this is definitely somebody who is extremely into necromancy and possibly ritual sacrifice of hearts. That's my current running hypothesis.
Okay.
Who do we know that's a necromancer?
Well, unfortunately, I don't really know any necromancers in the area, at least not right now. They usually don't reveal themselves. It's not exactly a practice that's looked on with any sort of favor.
So then the mayor could absolutely still be a necromancer.
I severely doubt that he would be involved. The mayor is notoriously boringly simple.
See, that's the most suspicious, though. That is so suspicious.
Well, I appreciate that you think that, and if you'd like to investigate that on your own time, you may feel free.
I fucking will.
But I personally don't think that whoever's responsible for this is even still in the area. As it is, I have a couple of requests that I've received, and I can't really do both of them at the same time, and I'd like to cover as much ground as possible. Maybe moving from place to place might give us a better idea as to the situation in the region, and might get us a better handle on who it is that we might be going up against.
I think that's a good idea.
As it is, I've got a small village and a town that I need to go to and check up on. The village, known as Eckhurst, is a fairly small village. It doesn't really have a high population or anything along those lines, but we've lost all contact with them. They haven't reported to anybody recently. They haven't paid their taxes in over 2 months, and we don't know what's going on with them. So I need to investigate what's going on over there. And then we have another more, I guess, precarious issue going on in the town of Profar, not too far from here. It's a fair-sized town that's exceedingly rich, and they just elected a new mayor who is apparently doing some troubling things to the populace there.
So he's the necromancer. Oh my god!
Well, this would be a different mayor, but I don't think. But what I'm referring to when it comes to troubling things is apparently he's constructed some sort of wall around the city, around the town, that has effectively blocked off any of the non-human members of the town from being able to go into the town proper. This is not something that's generally looked on with any sort of favor, and if there is any sort of explicit discrimination, that's something that we want to kind of do something about. But that's something that I'm going to have to investigate and figure out how to disarm the situation on its own. But those are kind of our two places that we need to hit. I'll hit whichever one you guys don't want to.
I don't like discrimination against race or walls.
It's very descriptive.
Staying as apolitical as possible. But I really don't like walls and discrimination. That's
Nice.
my vote.
I'm more interested in the small folk who seem to have disappeared. There's so many of them. Well, we go figure out what happened to them.
Oh yeah, let's fucking go.
We only have 2
Question.
votes.
Question is where you're going to go, little goblin.
Okay, but okay. Is if we go to the place with the discrimination, the wall, can we tear down the wall?
Yeah, because we want you to be able to go into the city with us, right? You would want to go with us?
Yes.
Well, that's probably going to be part of it. I'm not entirely certain how to deal with this.
Okay, let's go blow up the wall.
Okay.
I guess we're blowing up the wall.
Gil? Okay.
All right. So I'll go ahead and send you guys to Profar, and then I'll head over to Eckhurst myself and see what's going on up there. If I don't meet back up with you in Profar and you end up figuring things out and handling things over on that side, go ahead and reconvene with me back at Eckhurst, and we'll see what's up.
Okay.
He sort of gives you all a bit of a nod, and then puts down a small stack of coins. That's gonna be part of my payment for taking care of these situations. I figure if you guys are gonna be taking care of half of it, then I might as well give you half. You look into the bag, and there's about 50 gold in there.
Club just slowly manages to reach out and grab it.
And I grab
I
gloves.
grab Glove by like his neck, by her neck, like right here.
You guys are so...
I'm like, Glove, good friend, Glove, and I kind of like shake her around. I kind of like grab the purse, and I'm like, this shall cover my medical services.
No.
I yank it, and I kind of like give it to the paladin. It's for safekeeping.
I'll split this up later.
I give Glove a nice hearty on the back.
What the fuck?
Have you guys learned your lesson already? Rule number 1, you don't touch Glub.
I want my fucking gold!
I'm touching Glove.
I want my gold.
Ah, Glub! You and I shall be best of friends. Best of druid friends.
No.
Yes.
Okay, Glove,
Yes.
let's go to the wall! Blow up the wall! Yay!
Okay.
Okay, if there's a wall, I kind of feel like we should preemptively get some supplies if we eventually need to climb said wall.
Dynamite.
Dynamite doesn't let you climb.
I mean, you don't need
Somehow
to climb
get
with
through it.
dynamite.
I just want to preemptively, if for whatever reason we get locked out because 2 of our party members aren't allowed in, I want to be able to get in somehow.
Okay, this
Well,
is
I'm certain that they're gonna let y'all in, right?
Yeah, us too, but
Glove
what
and I can get in no matter what. But you two, that's where the question is.
Wait,
I
he said
agree.
they don't let non-humans in, right?
Oh.
Wait. Oh my! I apologize. Silly paladin. Silly. I can be whatever the hell I want to be.
I was about to say, you guys.
I'll be a cat. Glove.
Okay.
You want to be a cat?
I want to be a weasel.
A weasel.
You can be a weasel. They have limitations that we don't suffer from, Glove. I apologize. It's
Okay.
just it escapes me. You know, sometimes you all look the same. I can't tell the difference between you, Paladin, and you, sir. Bro.
Not paladin.
Well, that's racist.
All humans look the same. Okay, let's go in. I forgot that you guys can change your shape.
Change your shorts.
Yep.
Okay.
I have to change
It
my
is,
shorts every time I talk to you, Harrison.
It is a few days travel on foot to get there all together. So the question then becomes, are you guys going to try and get horses, or are you just going to hoof it?
It's a few days travel on foot.
Yes,
Can we rent a carriage?
you could.
Let's do that.
How much is it?
All right. Renting a carriage for this particular trip is, I assume, one way. So that would only be 2 silver per person. So about 8 silver altogether.
Okay, we're gonna give 10 silver is 1 gold, right?
Yes.
We'll just give them 1 gold as a tip
All right. Cool.
to take care of us. Hey, make sure the ride isn't bumpy.
They will definitely appreciate that.
Cool.
Okay.
I added the 50 gold and then I subtracted 1 from my inventory. I don't know if you like check inventories or whatever, but
Yeah, usually after the games, just to see if there's anything strange. Okay. So, you're traveling by road in a carriage. Chances of random encounters are somewhat low in that instance, but we'll go ahead and do a roll anyway. Basically, the way this works is I'm going to have all of you roll a particular dice. The number sides on the dice indicates the likelihood of having a random encounter during travel, and if you match my roll, then something happens. Essentially.
Ooh.
So, for day 1 of, well, it's really going to be like a day and a half, honestly, since you're on carriage. Cutting that in half. Go ahead and everybody roll me a 1d8.
Nice.
It's
You guys shut up.
There you go.
You shut up right now.
You got that figured out. Okay. Tabor.
uh-oh.
How high is how high or low is good?
High is good.
High is good. Okay. All right.
Oh, fuck.
So, let's see if I can. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use that. Guys are riding in a carriage all the way down here. Oh no, I forgot to adjust something.
I still have playing cards on my screen.
Oh, yeah, I can get rid of those.
Thank you.
my cards.
Why are you guys drawing more cards? Okay. So, bottom right, you can see yourselves in your carriage, just sort of riding along. Let me go grab you guys here real quick. Boop. Yeah. So you've been riding in the carriage for about a few hours now. It's still a decent ways until you reach your destination. All in all, it's been a fairly pleasant trip. The roads themselves are fairly average, fairly smooth road. It's fairly smooth ride. There's loads of scenery all around the area. The countryside itself is extremely beautiful, with bushes and trees and bits of forest just sort of all over the place, and all of it seems to be more or less left to its own devices to take care of itself, which is usually results in some fairly interesting natural beauties. After a decent bit of riding, you guys end up riding about up to here.
Are we fording a river?
No. Ignore that.
Okay,
Ah,
This is a pathway, goddammit.
got it.
You are in somewhat swampy areas at the moment. So, guys, go ahead and roll me a perception check as you get up to here. For anybody who's actually like watching their surroundings, anyway. I don't know if anybody's like taking a nap or whatever.
I'm always watching.
I'm interested in looking at the foliage.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Oh god, here we go.
What's their roll on this? Let me take a look. Okay, so it's just a flat that. Okay. All right. So all right. Bro, Gil, and Glub, you all are sort of examining your surroundings when you note that there appears to be a sleeping creature off to your right in your trajectory.
is this creature fluffy?
It's very scaly.
Ah,
Can I do a nature check to try to identify it?
Certainly.
Ooh.
Okay. Bro, you've seen these creatures before. They're somewhat wild creatures that just sort of eat whatever comes across them. So nothing malicious necessarily about them, but they are extremely tough and hard to deal with when you do actually end up having to deal with them. This is what's known as a basilisk.
Oh.
Oh.
I'd like to not deal with that ever.
I turn and I say and I whisper and I
Get a better idea of what it looks like here.
Oh.
Wait, actually?
Well, it's not that big. He's just showing
No,
us.
it's not
Oh,
big.
okay.
I'm just-
Holy fuck.
I'm just showing off the
Oh
token.
god.
No, if it was that big, then some foul wizardry is at work.
So bro kind of turns to the cart and he's like not necessarily whispering, but he's sitting there definitely talking lower tone than normal, and he's like, gentlemen and goblin, look, we have a basilisks on the side of the road. It's my recommendation. We just kind of meander across. Don't bother them and they won't bother you, but at the same time, gaze at its beauty.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we're riding on the cart, yeah?
Yes.
I guess I'll ready an attack?
Readying. That doesn't mean he's gonna.
Yeah, I'm
It's
readying
just-
one.
it's
If
a
it
just in
wakes
case.
up, I want to be ready.
Paladin, what are you doing?
I'm just in case, buddy.
What if we just go around?
I mean, we can. I'm riding on the cart. I just want to have my shit ready.
I turn and I talk to the cart master, whoever the driver. It's like, please excuse my jumpy friends. I don't know why he's so jumpy, but there he is, just being jumpy.
The cart guy sort of like glances back to you guys and is like, "What are you guys so jumpy about?"
Don't you
There's
see that basilisk?
there's a thing.
There's a thing.
There's a thing.
Where?
Like over there. You want to go check it out?
Yeah, he glances over. Let's see. He doesn't have to. Okay. He glances over and he sees it as well and goes, "Oh boy, what's one of those things? I've never seen one before."
I don't know, but you can go find out if you want.
Oh no, no, that's not what I'm paid to do.
What if I pay you to go find out what it is?
I'm not sure. That thing's got big teeth.
Oh,
You need to pay me a lot of money to go prod that with a stick.
How about 15 copper?
That's not enough of that.
16 copper.
You're going to need to go into like at least 100 gold if you want me to go investigate that.
Oh damn.
I'll value
I'll
my
give
life
you-
a little bit more than
I
that.
say I'll give you 49 right now if you touch it and run back.
49 gold to go touch it and run back.
Yeah.
What are our alignments again?
Sorry, you're right.
God damn it.
You guys are
Okay, you're right. I was only kidding.
That's a lot of money. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying. All right, let me see if I can find a way to get around that thing.
That made my stomach hurt.
He sort of traverses around the trees here and goes to the other side instead of crossing directly in front of the thing before crossing beyond. All right. So you guys were able to get through there without incident.
Yay.
Luckily, you guys rolled high. Otherwise, that thing was going to be awake, and it was going to be angry, and it was going to be hungry.
Cool.
Get rid of goblins.
We got a little biology lesson.
All right. Where are we going? Profar, right. So, after about a days and a half travel, you guys alternating your sort of sleep shifts as you ride inside, you end up coming to the town of Profar. Let's see. You guys are going to be here, coming in from the sort of south by southwest. Approaching Prothar, the carriage drops you off before it even hits the wall or even any of the buildings. Right, I'm not really allowed to bring anybody inside the town, so this is going to be where I drop you guys off. You guys have yourselves a fun time, all right?
Okay. Can you tell us what you know is going on in this town by chance?
Not too much. Some guy named Gorion apparently is in charge there right now, and well, he said some not so nice things about dwarves and elves and all the sorts of non-human species.
Alrighty. That's
Rude.
kind of what we're here to check up on, so thank you for your help.
Right, you guys have a good one. Yeah,
You
sort of
as well.
turns around and heads on back your silver in your one gold piece that you paid him in tail. Okay. So as you sort of approach the walls themselves, there are several buildings outside of them that appear to be sort of these ramshackle buildings that have what seems to be a decent amount of room within them, but they don't appear to be very well made. A lot of them look like they probably were constructed within the last several months, if that. And outside of them, there are some halfling people, and there's some dwarven people, there's an elf or two, and all of them are just sort of outside, just doing whatever it is that they're doing. Just you have some people doing their laundry. You have some people who are just sort of like sitting down and smoking some tobacco. They appear to not actually be in the middle of doing anything, which is strange because as you guys arrive, it's a little bit past noon, so it's not exactly the usual relaxation time.
Okay, Glove is gonna turn into a cat.
Okay.
They won't. I assume cats are fine. Assuming.
I'm gonna turn to a cat.
And I'm gonna just like.
Oh, that's so
follow.
fucking adorable. Hold on a second.
Wait, she sent an actual picture?
No.
Oh, I can't use that because it's a premium asset. Son of a bitch.
Aw.
I'll still do that.
I'll turn to Bro and I'll be like, as proud of a dragonborn as you are, I suggest you turn into some sort of inconspicuous animal as well.
I'm gonna tail Gil. Also.
Control.
You can't invoke the pride of a dragonborn and then give a direction.
It was a suggestion?
You should turn into an iguana, bro.
Yeah,
An iguana? You don't even know what an iguana is.
Isn't that like one of your cousins?
Oh, fuck.
PvP!
You, sir, I like you. I like you a lot. Heaven forbid if you need healing. Just joking. Ha. Let me see.
I am
Nice
not
shot.
mad, bro. Not mad at all.
Not mad, bro. So we're approaching the gate, right? Is that what it is? All right. I kind of plop down as kind of like a jest or whatever. I do transform into like a little lizard.
Okay.
He actually did it.
And then I go on top of the rogue's shoulder and I take.
Why are they all following the rogue? You know what? Fine.
No, I get on his shoulder, I take a nice little piss,
Oh, okay.
and then I get off his shoulder.
Okay.
Well, that's
Rude.
unfortunate. How big of a piss did he take?
He's a little lizard.
Can you roll for the size of your piss?
I love
lizards.
If you would like to roll for how much you pissed on him, then I guess that would be a con check. I don't know.
Let's see it.
Here are some pictures of lizards. They're very beautiful animals.
Okay,
Ooh.
now how big is this lizard? Is it like a standard lizard? It's not like
Like I was envisioning, definitely not bigger than a foot. Right, a little bit shorter.
That's a
maybe
lot
like
of
9,
piss.
8, 7,
I think
6.
I think my shirt is soaked in piss.
Yeah, I think you're soaked now. You got a lot in you.
Can I pick up Bro in my mouth?
Oh.
Well, bro's like not even a foot long lizard, so it's possible if you're like a domesticated house cat.
I'm gonna reach down and put my hand on the ground, and I'll be like, "Come on, come on."
I wanna throw a pebble at bro. What do I need to? What do you want?
You want to throw a pebble at him?
I wanna throw a pebble
that
at
would
him.
be a range attack versus the lizard's AC.
Oh, fuck.
Which is only about 10. So,
But not like a longbow attack. Like I'm looking for the appropriate.
no, just longbow would work as well because they're both range attack rolls.
Okay.
But don't I have like small creature advantage or some BS?
No, that's already taken into account by the fact that you are small. That you have 10 AC. You would have less than that because your dexterity is actually extremely low.
Okay.
But it goes up because you're small. All right.
Gonna
So
make him
yeah,
break.
you hit him with a pebble and
Thank
do 1 damage.
Well,
And then I make
One
a face.
da-
One
one.
damage to the lizard
I make a face at him.
as you huck a pebble straight into his face.
Get fucked.
I'll scoop him up and I'll say, "Go where you must." And I guess I'll just put my arms like this, and if he wants to crawl on my shoulder or follow on the ground, whatever.
I kind of go like underneath the cart where I'm hanging underneath the cart. No, we're out.
Cart's
the cart,
gone.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cart's gone. Well, is anybody wearing a cape?
My guy has a cape.
I go like on the underneath your cape, like on the back side of it, so you can't really see me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm walking in.
Okay. So you guys pass by the sort of small shanty town in front of you of sort of buildings that are sort of placed haphazardly outside of the wall. And when you approach the wall, you see two guards who are sort of standing there. They have halberds in hand and they have shields in the other hand. They sort of notice the two of you approach and they sort of nod to you. 1 second, please. As they sort of stop you in your spot. They do a little bit of an examination of you, and they do a little bit of a check of your things. They spot your lizard and your cat. These your domesticated animals, then?
They are.
Right. He sort of notes that. He sort of notes the piss-soaked shirt. Right. Might need to be a little bit better trained, I think. Unless that's you.
I got nothing.
You just hang your head.
I just look at him. I don't say anything.
He sort of shakes his head and goes, "You might want to go get changed as soon as possible when you get in." But all in all, they allow you guys inside.
Hooray!
All right. Heading inside, the town itself is it's extremely dense and extremely thick. It's an unusually wealthy-looking town. The buildings are very tall. They're very well kept. The pavement is very smooth and just tiled in a very intricate fashion. Moving through to the wider areas where there's like squares and such, you can see that there's intricate designs engraved into the pavement. But going around, you note that everybody that you see appears to be human. Which is a stark contrast to the people who are outside of the wall. Heading into the sort of town square, you know that there are several different establishments that one could potentially go to, including a tavern that appears to merely be called Leah's, as well as the Fear Outfitter, which appears to be some sort of blacksmith, as indicated by the fact that there is an anvil and a hammer on the sign itself, and the Roadheart Potter, which appears to be a general store, as indicated by a sort of like a thread and a needle, and also another hammer, sort of emblazoned on the sign of the store.
Did you say there was an inn?
Establishments? Yes. Leah's.
You think she's cute?
No, probably not.
I kind of like climb up on the paladin's robe and I'm like pawing at his like whatever with my hooks and I'm like kind of like yoink towards the inn.
Okay. I have no issue going to the inn.
I mean, I'm soaked in piss, but it's fine.
Like, I'll say, bro, let's
that
get
might be
a...
the place that you might want to actually go get changed at. So there you
true.
go. I mean,
Yeah, you
it's
could clean
fair.
it.
That's true. Is there a specific building? Does it matter? This building?
Yes. Sorry, I had a thing ready for this, but unfortunately it broke, so I need to fix it. It's very annoying.
It's inevitable, unfortunately.
There we go. Okay. All right, so it's this big building here.
Dude, Leah's a total babe.
Oh, goddamn!
All right. Going into the tavern, it's a large, several storied wooden sort of like cabin looking aesthetic. It's got a yellow tile roof, roughly hewn wooden furniture decorating the entirety of the front. A beautiful oak countertop, with cured cheeses and meats. I just combined cheeses and meats. That are sort of like strewn about the sort of the bar area as an indicator of what's available for consumption. It's got a bit of a rustic look about it. It's got a fireplace in the far corner. It's not lit at the moment due to the time of day and the fact that it's not exactly a terribly hot, cold climate at the moment. But the bartender behind the bar sort of glances up to the lot of you as you approach, and she sort of regards you for a second before sort of nodding and goes, "Right, so you guys are new then, right?"
What makes you say that?
Well, I ain't seen you around here before, and well, I'll be honest, I don't really see a whole lot of people walking around with piss on them.
Hey,
look like you've been through a bit of a rough time.
This guy's a hard worker. It could be sweat for all you know.
Fair enough, but I can smell it.
You're
Smell
right.
a lot
It's
of piss, do you?
Well, if you want, you can go ahead and get a room, get yourself cleaned up, or at the very least, get yourself changed. Only costs about 2 silver for a room. I've got lots of them.
Sold. Yeah, we can all do a room.
Well,
dinner for all of us. How much will it be?
Like from the outside of the establishment, how many rooms does it look like it has? The place.
It's got at least 4 stories to it, so very likely a great many.
I mean, pets can't really have their own room, though.
I kind of like go into, I guess, the paladins. Try to go into the paladin's purse or coin pocket and like pull out a gold and like I can put the gold in my mouth and just throw it at him.
I'll say I'll say, well, we are expecting some people, so I'll be generous and pay for my good friend Gil's room here, and then the 2 people that we're also expecting later today. So 4 rooms total, and how much will dinner for us cost?
It depends on what you want, but mostly more or less costs the same. But dinner on top is usually about 4 silver per person.
How much is a room per night?
2.
Huh. Okay. That's cheap for a room.
Yep. I got a lot of rooms to rent out, and honestly, it's not too terribly hard to maintain all of them. But the food is extremely good, and is usually a lot more classy and tasty. Usually market myself more as a restaurant than an inn, so that's where I make most of my money.
Okay. Well, I'll pay for the rooms, and then when our good friends get in, we'll do meals separately then.
What a stand-up guy.
All right, sounds like a plan. If you want, you can order their food ahead of time as well. Let's see. Right now, we got some specials on for a boar casserole with potatoes, as well as a glass of vodka. We have the chicken sandwich with seasoned bread and a glass of wine. And we have the crowberry tart with a glass of whiskey, along with a fish sandwich that I make special here.
I'll pick my dinner later, but our kidneys are I'll just pay the 8 silver for the 4 rooms, and then I toss the other 2 silver at her, and I say, and make his bathwater extra hot.
Not a problem. I'll have that taken care of for you.
My bathwater?
So, how long you guys think you're going to be staying in town?
Hard to say, but we are looking for information about what exactly is going on here with the wall situation.
Oh, I can tell you what's going on here. We elected a fucking moron. I don't know what the hell's going on with the people's brains today, but for some reason they all decided that since we're doing so goddamn well, then the richest person is the person who needs to be in charge of things. Oh, he runs businesses. That means he must be able to run this stuff. Doesn't make any sense to me, I'll be honest with you.
So you're not a fan of the mayor, I take it?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. There's
Are
a lot of
you-
things that he's been doing that I'm not really too much of a fan of. Listen, so let me lay down some things first. First off, this wall, new. This is new. We didn't have this wall about like 4 months ago. It's a new thing, all entirely paid for by us for some reason. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. Why am I paying for it? Doesn't make any sense. Secondly, all of those old, like, run down, sort of ramshackle buildings outside are all for the non-human people. They've all been forced to live out there, segregation-wise. I don't understand that either. That takes away business from me, as well as everybody else. He's also gotten rid of all the non-human businesses, taxed them all out. They can't operate anymore. Loans are being given out to humans so that they can start their own businesses, so long as they sign a contract saying that they're not going to sell or hire to non-humans.
What does this guy have against non-humans?
I don't know. Listening to his speeches, you think that like every single one of his family member was progressively stabbed by every single non-human species.
Where's this person live? This mayor of yours?
And the mayor lives sort of in the northern section of town.
Is it easy to gain an audience from him?
Not too hard these days. Now that a lot of his policies have actually been passed, he's been kind of just going around doing his own thing. Normally, he can be found actually just walking around town during the day anyway.
Could you tell us what he looks like?
Sure. He's a somewhat portly guy. Has a bit of a bald head to him. He's always dressed extremely fine. I'd say probably around the age of like 50, 55, something along those lines.
Is there, besides this wall, is there any campaign he's really trying to drive home? Is there another initiative he's trying to get done right now? Or is he just kind of controlling the chaos from the wall?
Well, there's been some rumblings that he might be interested in initiating some sort of localized conscription for a militia.
What would he do with said militia?
I don't know. I'm very worried about that, too.
As someone who was part of an army and left that life behind, I don't like the sound of this at all. Especially a power-hungry man like him having being in charge of a group of warriors.
Well, you're not going to get any argument from me on that front. Honestly, I don't see why we need a militia. We already have an army itself that comes from the king. That if we have any sort of major issues, we can just call on them. Plus, what's the need for a militia if we already have a giant fucking wall around the city?
I totally agree. Well, thank you for the information. I know I'm tired from the journey here, so I'm going to go rest in my room for a little bit. And I kind of turn a look at Gil, and I'm like, almost like a meet me in my room. We need to talk as a group.
Oh,
Not like that,
my.
you dirty dog. Not yet. Stop.
Where are the Coomer? Where are the Coomer emotes?
Jesus.
Where are the
Gonna
Coomer?
All right. She sort of waves you guys to your rooms, points to where you guys are going to be going as far as your rooms are concerned. Well, she makes sure that all of you guys are more or less, that both of you, anyway, are more or less next to each other, and your two friends who are going to be visiting are going to be next to you as well. And you're on the... Let me roll something. You're on the second floor.
Okay.
If I jumped
Oh,
from the
wait.
second floor window, would I be able to survive the jump?
It would be an acrobatics roll, and so long as you rolled well, then you wouldn't take any damage. If you didn't, then you'd be taking 1d10.
Okay, cool.
So is Leah a cutie?
Well, I can show you what she looks like with a little bit of a...
Damn.
Oh, god damn.
Oh,
What
yeah,
the hell
she
is
was
What's
that?
up,
fine.
Leah?
I immediately transform.
No!
Wait, are we already we're in our rooms, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we're in our
Yeah.
When we're walking in, I'll say to Gil, did you get a look at Leah? God damn. This is a backward ass town, but they got some hotties here.
I think she got to look at my piss-soaked shirt. So I know.
During that time, you could be hearing
little lizards laughing.
Okay, so since we're all in a room, I want to basically I don't know if I've like told my group like my backstory or whatever, but I kind of want to tell them my backstory of the fact that like I was a part of the King's Army and I was I was slain, and then I was basically descending into hell, and then some bright light shone down from above and basically brought me back to life, and I don't really know why, but I woke up with a sudden vengeance to end all monarchies and people compelling young men to go to war. So this is basically this situation that Leo was telling us about is basically like everything that I hate. So this, like, I'm gonna be taking this quest rather personally.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, because I was thinking about robbing him, so I guess this works out.
¿Por qué nos dos?
¿Por qué nos dos?
Oh, so I changed it to my piss-soaked shirt, by the way.
I'll go ahead and just give that to you. You'll
right.
be able to do that without too much of a problem.
Cool. Or I'd wash it or something.
Washing it wouldn't be too much of a problem. You do have a washroom sort of like on the floor that you're going to be at. So sort of a one that everybody shares, but not too much of a problem.
Sweet. I'm going back down for dinner.
Okay. Do you remember the specials?
Was it bear...
Boar casserole, chicken
Boar
sandwich,
casserole, that's
and
what it was, yeah.
fish sandwich is the main ones, with potatoes, bread, seasoned bread, and crowberry tart as your sides, and vodka, wine, and whiskey as your drinks.
Ooh. Fuck. All right. I'll Miss Barmaid, or yeah.
Yes, dear.
I will have a boar casserole and a vodka.
Boar casserole and vodka. Nothing for the side.
No, not tonight.
All right, not a problem. I'll go ahead and whip that up for you real quick, like. Sort of gives you a bit of a wink and has you sit down for and within about 10-15 minutes, she has a nice steaming bowl of casserole for you, nice and meaty inside, and sort of in places a glass of I think you said vodka, right?
Yep.
Places a glass of vodka next to you. Now, if you need a refill on that, let me know, and if you're still hungry afterwards, also let me know. Okay.
Glub helps herself to the casserole.
I didn't even know Glub was fucking in
Glub is trailing you at all times.
I guess that's fair.
As a
You did
cat.
say that.
As a cat, smile.
So you just jump up on the table and you're just eating from my casserole?
Yes.
Okay, as you start eating, I quickly divide it with like my utensils or whatever, and I like make it so that you can have your own little portion.
Without infecting mine.
Yeah, exactly. You're nasty.
Because I'm pretty sure I saw Glub like licking her cat butt earlier. Yeah,
That wouldn't be far off.
just like leg up in the air, just like sitting at the bar.
She doesn't get the opportunity often, alright? She can't do that as a goblin. She's not that flexible.
She's not that flexible. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
God. So I'm super upset, so I'm gonna call for like an errand boy, however you can, in like this, and just tell him to get me whatever Leah's favorite dish is.
All right, you get one of the people who's responsible for the sort of cleaning of the area, and you let him know that you need him to go fetch some things for you. He goes and does so. It's part of his job to sort of just attend to you in whatever way you need. And he sort of comes up and what? Sorry, my mind is everywhere right now. You wanted him to grab some food for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he asks you of the things what exactly you would like.
I just say I don't care. Get me ask Leah what her favorite dish is. I don't have that.
So he goes back. He returns back within about like 20 minutes, and he hands you what appears to be an amalgamation of a couple things. There appears to be a chicken breast, and a sort of like breaded fish flake on top of the chicken breast, in between two pieces of what appears to be a spiced bread, and also hands you a bottle of wine. Leah says that the bottle of wine itself, the whole bottle is going to cost you an extra 2 silver.
That's
on
fine.
top of the 5 that it usually costs.
That's fine. I toss him a gold, and I say, tell Leah to get herself a drink on me.
All right, I'll let her know. She'll be quite flattered, sir, I'm sure.
Cool.
And I'm going to be stewing in my room all night because I'm so fucking pissed about this town.
All right. So Leah does note that one of her customers is sharing food with his cat. And she sort of comes over and starts petting the cat. Aww. So you take good care of her?
Big purrs.
Sorry, what'd you say? Lundy, what'd she say? Sorry, I heard like 3 different people talking.
Looks like you take good care of her then.
I do my best.
It is a her, right? She sort of like leans down and checks.
Club also checks.
Yes, it's a her.
Well, I don't really meet a whole lot of people who are willing to share their food with the pets. Normally, they're a little bit afraid that, it's gonna get them sick or something.
Not this one.
She's very friendly.
Yeah, I think she's taken a liking to you.
Big purrs. Big wanting for pets.
Do you want to join me at the bar? You want to help me out at the bar?
Oh, big fucking pog, but like as a cat.
So you do a pog chant as a cat.
Yeah.
Gotcha. She sort of shakes her head and sort of picks you up. You don't mind, do you, sir?
Go ahead.
And takes you back to the bar with her. Just sort of entertains herself by sort of showing the cat all her different utensils and the way where all the different drinks are, where all the glasses are, and then takes the cat back into the kitchen where she shows her all the different meats and stuff. Sort of gets a small can of what appears to be some sort of processed sort of meat, and sort of puts it down on the ground. You go ahead and eat some of that whenever you feel a little hungry.
Glub fucking goes immediately.
Cat immediately starts digging into it. Okay. So Leah is enjoying the cat. Appears to be a bit of an animal lover herself. And everybody else is either eating or just sort of resting or sort of doing a little bit of introspection as to what's the current situation is. We'll go ahead and say that the night passes by without too much of an issue. There is one question, though, and that is, at the dawn of every new day, your wild shapes will disappear. So the question is, are you going to be doing it in your rooms, or are you going to be doing it in your companions' rooms in order to try and avoid anybody seeing you?
I'll probably do it in somebody's room because I feel like it'd be weird, like cat going into a room and
Yeah.
Dude, go into Leah's room. You won't.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh god, no.
Don't
yeah,
give
yeah,
her
yeah,
that
yeah,
idea.
yeah. I'll bring fucking bro and everything.
Bro and Glove both going into Leah's room to turn into themselves and then
Yes.
turn back into animals.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
How loud is
Oh,
this like
beautiful.
shift back into their like original forms? Is it like is there like a noise associated with this, or they just kind of quietly like?
It's less a noise and more like a low buzzing sound.
Okay.
It's not like a loud crackling.
So like if like Leah was like asleep in her room or whatever, and then like a goblin and a dragonborn just like turn back into themselves from a lizard and
it might wake her
weasel?
up. Yeah,
okay.
God damn it.
It'd be really funny if they just like
possibility.
pop back into their original forms, or just like watching her sleep for like 30 seconds, and they went back into their fucking animal forms, and like no, like But it's like a tree in the if a tree is down in the woods or whatever kind of thing.
I love that idea. It's just them.
Jesus.
They just go into a room and they just turn back into their normal forms and they just sort of look down at her
For like a
And we have,
couple
like,
seconds.
Like a bottom text meme. It's just like be nice to animals, and then they just like turn back into animals.
Jesus. It won't be weird at all.
It's
Dear
phenomenal.
God. I'm glad Leah didn't kill me, by the way. I was very scared.
I thought she was gonna put you in the casserole.
Yes, I also suspected the same.
Oh boy, no, not a customer's cat. That would be weird.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So, night goes by without too much of an issue. You guys are going to be going and trying to be discreet about your wild shape transformations. Okay. So, next morning comes. You guys are given a complimentary breakfast to go along with your rooms. What are you guys discussing exactly? Are you going to be doing it in your rooms? Are you going to be doing it in the bottom? If you do it in your rooms, then obviously your companions don't have to be in their wild shape forms to talk. So, just your options.
Whatever they want to do, I don't care. We just need to. I feel like we need a powwow before we go out and start.
We need to do
investigating.
this in a private area. So
Yeah.
I usher everybody into a room.
Alrighty.
Club is ushered.
Okay, here's the plan. We have a pretty good description of Mr. Mayor. We have a pretty good description or like a general area where his house is. We need to pinpoint his house and then I guess either see if we can find him at his house or like in the area. I think it would be best to go about this with some tact and possibly break into this guy's house while we like waylay him or while like some people waylay him, whether it's Raiden or Bro or Glub. He needs to be distracted. Me and somebody else can sneak into his house, see if we can find anything.
Can we find something like incriminating, like obvious deceit or something that like we could get the general public like against him, not just the non-humans but people in the city? Like, I don't know if there's something that we could get to like show some sort of corruption or I don't know what, but a way that we can publicly out him so we have the community on our side as well.
Yeah, but we'll find what we find, and if we find some valuable stuff in there, we find that. So
Okay.
okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, break.
So, plan is to find where he lives and see if you can find a way to break in and find some stuff. Then,
Yeah, not so eloquent words.
Okay. You were directed before as to where exactly he stays. Everybody else is more than willing to, when you sort of ask around town, everybody else is more than willing to point out where he is. I'm going to go ahead and put him on the map here to indicate where he stays.
Look at this fat bastard. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Lordy, coming. Jesus.
He's a big boy. Approaching sort of the front, there are 2 guards posted out front, and they sort of both nod to you guys as you approach. Would you like to speak with the mayor, sir?
Indeed, we would.
Oh,
Is he here?
for God's sake. Sorry, that fucking went off. Yes, he is. He's currently inside. If you'd like, he doesn't really have any scheduled meetings for today. He'd be glad to take in some new people from outside of town.
Sounds good. Show the way.
All right. The guards sort of like lead you inside. As you go inside the building itself, you know that there are several more guards all throughout the space.
Sorry.
And Eventually, you're led to on the second floor to what seems to be some sort of office. Going inside, you note that there is this extremely large boy, very portly, just entirely bald on top, wearing extremely fine linens as he sort of looks up to you as you come inside. Hello there. So, well, I have some visitors, it seems. I don't seem to recognize you from the campaign trail. Might you be from the outside?
We are from the outside. We actually came from Appleton.
Fantastic, fantastic. What brings you to our fair town?
We've heard good things. We wanted to see it for ourselves.
I see.
Who's in the room?
Right now, Ryden and Gil. I think they took you two as animals.
Yeah,
As, like,
I think
pets?
so.
Is there any guards in the room? Is it?
Not in the room, but outside the room. There's like 2 guards outside of the room. There's another one that's patrolling the stairs, and there's one that's on. And then there's the 2 in the bottom, outside.
I'm gonna scamper down and see if I can, like, nonchalantly close the door.
As a lizard.
Yeah, just like you just see like a lizard. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? You know, it's like you don't think anything malicious from it, right? It's just a lizard doing
You
lizard
gotta seem
stuff.
like an actual lizard though, and just like randomly defecate in places, because you're just doing lizard things.
Yeah, I'm bouncing my head up and down. Like,
Yeah, you're just like I'm licking my butthole, just regular cat things.
You gotta play the part.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last actual line of dialogue? I think I said I wanted to see this place for ourselves. We heard good things, or
Yeah, something along those lines. Well, I tell you, we definitely have quite a bit of a sight for all the new people. How do you like our wall, by the way? It's brand new, very well constructed in my particular opinion. I think it's a nice sign of things to come as far as our fair city is concerned.
Oh.
Well, our growing
Love X.
city.
Please elaborate on what things are to come. What plans do you have for this city?
Well, let me ask you a question. How much experience do you have with the non-human side of the many species that grace our fantastic land?
They're disgusting, and I hate them.
Well, the disgusting might be a bit of a strong term. I wouldn't really go that far, but, well, one cannot deny that there are lots of objective differences between the different types of species, if you know what I mean. And sometimes those things can create a rather unfair marketplace for all the rest of the workers who need to find a place of their own. If you have orcs working in a town, then obviously they're going to be the best ones for hard labor jobs, and that's going to take jobs away from regular humans who just can't compete with natural muscles of orcs. I've seen myself many times an elf, because they're just so naturally pretty. They end up becoming leaders of their own industry based on nothing more than their own charisma, which I think is somewhat unfair. It's something that they're born with. There's many differences between the different races that are true, that are real, and that can create some problems for all the different workers. So, what I've thought might be a fantastic idea is to create individual towns and villages and cities and such for just one type. That way they're not competing with each other. You know what I'm saying, sir?
So almost like an ethno-state for each individual race.
Well, sort of, but, we'd all be occupying the same kingdom, of course. It's just we wouldn't be intermixing as far as the different cities are concerned. I think this would be the most fair for everybody.
What are your plans? Do you plan on having trade between the countries, or?
Of course. After all, we all need to make money. I just don't think that it's a fantastic idea to have everybody in the same spot. It creates a lot of problems, a lot of tension, a lot of issues.
Aren't you concerned with the temporary displacement of large swaths of different races of individuals?
Oh, sure, it's gonna be a hard time moving forward, but it's not something it's impossible. And I think if they're intelligent enough to understand what it is that I'm saying, then they'd be perfectly okay with agreeing to this. I'd be okay with giving a little bit of startup capital to everybody so that they can be on their way to make whatever town they'd like to make for their own particular species and such.
How did you get into power here? Did you have you always been into politics, or is this something you rather have taken up recently?
I tell you, I haven't really been into politics too terribly much. Usually, I'm just in charge of a lot of the different lines of trade that come in and out of the city. But I just couldn't handle it anymore. The massive levels of disrepair and disrepute and all of the different types of crimes that were going on throughout the city, that I felt it all needed to be taken care of as soon as possible. And the homelessness problem, the problem with many people not being able to find jobs for themselves. I mean, to see so many people sitting on the sides of the street not being able to feed their families, I mean, it was just heartbreaking. I needed to do something about it, so I ran for mayor. And well, the people spoke, and I won.
If you have enough money to fund the startup of entire villages, would you not have the same money to put towards like public outreach programs and?
Most certainly, but unfortunately, I only have control over a little bit of my own wealth, which is still a fraction of what this city brings in. Now, if I have control over the entirety of the city's wealth in order to go towards public goods, then that would be a lot more helpful. My own net worth is only maybe about 100,000 gold, but the city itself is approaching somewhere around 800,000.
While he and Ryden were talking or whatever, I'm looking. I guess is there like a desk in this room or like any kind of like central?
Yes, he's sitting at a desk.
And we're in front of him, I assume.
Yes.
Is there like, is like a desk that has like a wall or whatever at the front and like drawers that would like obscure like me being able to see like what's on the desk?
No, you're able to see what's on the desk. It's only a few different papers. Okay. All of them appear to be sort of like building project plans.
Is there anything? I mean, this is like a really vague question, but is there anything like noticeably like ostensibly valuable in the room, like a giant vase or like?
Oh yeah. In the office itself, there's a painting on one side that appears to be a portrait that was made entirely of Orion, and roll me insight.
Oh god, here we go, dude. The nat 20 followed by
the nat 1.
Okay, it's not terrible, I guess. It's not great.
All right. So you're able to tell that the painting, while it's still relatively new, since it's a painting, obviously, of Orion, it's the brush strokes, the materials, and all that stuff used. It's probably a fairly valuable painting. Okay. And let's see. You're also able to note that there is, on Orion himself, he has several rings on his fingers, all of which have extremely large gemstones in them. You also note that sort of on the corner of his desk appears to be some sort of strange decorated egg of some sort. It seems to be larger than any sort of like bird egg or an edible egg that you would normally find. And it appears to be entirely encrusted in some sort of in a bunch of different gemstones. You also You also note that there appears to be a sort of a bookshelf of a variety of different books on it. And while most of them don't really pop out at you, a couple of them do have the sort of subheading on the sort of on the spine of them that says original copy or something along those lines. And those likely would fetch a decent price.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to flatter him so much that so I'm going to ask him to show me all of the ongoing projects in his city if he would want to. And I want to like try to, in the process of like asking him to do so, like flatter him so much that he just kind of is a little oblivious and just wants to rush out the door with us, or with me at least, and show me everything. So I was thinking like a persuasion check because I'm trying to
yeah.
I'm trying to lure him out and like give Gil time to kind of rummage through shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. That works.
If that's possible,
That would be
Is
that
that
would be a
okay?
persuasion check. Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
And while he's doing that, can Glub like rub against the dude's leg and like gauge how his reaction is towards cats?
Yeah. You sort of rub against his leg, and he just sort of reaches down and scratches you.
He's a great guy.
Okay, I'm gonna be
Okay,
like.
now, bro, go do that. Go rub up on his leg.
Now I'm gonna be like, sir. I got so excited coming up to the city in the wagon that we were in, and after everything you've said, please show me some of your ongoing projects. I want to get you. You know, we can't stay in this stuffy room forever. There's loads of information here. Surely you're overloaded. Can you show me your city?
He sort of thinks for a moment, and he opens one of his drawers and looks into it and sort of fiddles through a couple papers before sort of shrugging slightly and closing his drawer. He takes out a key and starts locking all of his drawers and says, I don't see why I can't do that. I have a pretty open schedule today. I'll go ahead and go outside and with you, and I'll go ahead and show you a lot of the different things we're currently working on. I think you'll be nice and excited.
And
Hell, you might be interested in investing.
I'm going to be clapping so excited and kind of put my arm around him and lead him out, kind of blocking where Gil is, and hopefully Gil's kind of sliding behind me.
You put your arm around him, and he sort of has a cane that he's walking with. You note that he doesn't really have any sort of like limp or anything along those lines. He just really seems to like walking with what appears to be a waist-high cane of some sort, probably because of the rather gigantic emerald that's sort of like lining the top of it that his hand is resting on whenever he's using it. He goes outside with you and sort of looks back in towards Gil. I don't be doing anything I wouldn't be doing there, son.
And we close the door.
Mm-hmm.
It's very brave of them. Okay.
Did Bro or Glub come with me, or are they still in there?
I'm inside the room.
I'll go with Raiden.
Okay.
Fuck. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Glub and Raiden are going to be traversing the town with Gorion.
Yep.
Have him move down here so that these guys will be down here.
So there were the books. There was the painting. There was the
He locked
egg.
up like everything in his desk. So
I assume he like. Well, the egg was on his desk. He put the egg in his desk. I'm assuming.
No, the egg's still up there.
Oh fuck.
Am I able to, like, me being like a lizard, like get between the cracks of the desk, or is it like is it locked close to that?
Actually thinking about it. Let's see. I'd say nah, you're not getting into the drawers. Even as a lizard. I don't even think a mouse would be able to get into those. The crack is just so very small. It's not like the underside of a door or anything like that. It's way thinner.
Is there a window in this room?
Yeah, there is one that's right behind the desk actually.
Fuck. Okay. And it's a straight drop. We're on the second floor. It's a straight drop down. Okay. Fuck.
Sort of leads you into this little courtyard here.
Got it. Okay, bro. Here's the problem. Anything we take out of this room is going to be attributed to us, so we need to remove that factor.
With that being said, I look at Gil and I'm kind of like taking my head and I'm pointing at him, and I'm like kind of like
towards where are you gesturing to?
I love this charade.
I'm like gesturing towards the door, like.
Oh, like you want to? I'm thinking we leave and we come back through the window, but the guards will see us depart, and we can even like be friendly about it. No,
He's shaking his head. No, he would look down, He looks down at the ground, or he kind of, no, he's a lizard. He kind of stands up on his hind legs and he goes, pounds his chest, and then like stomps on the desk.
I don't think we're gonna be able to like.
And then he looks at he adjusts his head at you, and he says, "You door."
So I start to walk towards the door.
And then he shakes his head.
I reach for the door handle.
He keeps shaking his head.
I start turning. The last we entered, were there guards like right outside the door?
Yeah.
Okay. I start to open the door. I'm watching, bro.
I love that you're just taking direction from a lizard.
And I open the door, and now I'm just standing in the open doorway.
And then bro gets down and he starts pushing on the door with his lizard hands to close it behind him.
Okay. Okay. I think I understand. And
Yeah.
so like I guess assist or let him close the door or whatever. Or no, because I have to close it because it's gonna be fucking weird if a door just like closes on its own or whatever.
Yeah.
So I close the door. Nod to the two guards at the doorway or whatever. This is like still inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then I make my way out to the front door. Then I turn towards, I guess, one of the guard that asked the question or asked us if we wanted to like talk to the mayor. And I flip him a gold coin and say, "Thanks for your hospitality. I'm gonna be on my way now."
The guards sort of nod to you and sort of let you go, be on your way.
Okay. Now I guess I'm gonna circle, like away from the block or whatever. Are they just like hanging out in the courtyard here? Is this accurate?
Well, the Gorion sort of is starting to lead the riding around the town. He's sort of pointing out all the different places around the market square. He's pointing out that he's having a bunch of new businesses open up. One, like a butcher shop, another bread shop. A lot of places with food on one side, and then of course there's the new blacksmith. He points out that the old blacksmith that used to be there was a halfling, and he sort of guffaws a little bit at the thought of a halfling handling a hammer and an anvil, before pointing out that it's going to be replaced with a new human blacksmith instead. He's just sort of going around all the different spots in the general market area that's going to be new for the people.
Okay, but he's like obviously like doing his own thing or whatever, right?
Yes.
All right, so I come down to this corner, come over here, the base of the window or whatever, and then do you want me to do, I guess is this like a building that would be scalable or like through like some kind of like, I don't want to say parkour, but like
Acrobatics?
feats of dexterity, yeah. Is this something that you could like, someone could reasonably make it up to the second floor to this window?
Yeah, decent acrobatics check would allow you to parkour yourself.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Yep, you're able to sort of like get from ledge to ledge and sort of climb and pull yourself up towards the second floor window.
I'm gonna, I guess, take a look to make sure like nobody's like in the courtyard below me. I probably should have done this before, but that's not very good.
You don't notice anybody.
Okay. All right, and the window is unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You'll have to use your thieves' tools to unlock.
Can I unlock it? Because I'm on the inside.
Yeah, you could technically.
So I tap on the window. I'm waiting for Bro to unlock it.
I kind of go up there.
This is really dumb, by the way. What we're doing is really dumb.
I don't know why you want to did it during like the daytime. Or whatever time it is.
Nobody ever expects it to happen during daytime.
Exactly.
Honestly, we're not too far gone yet. We could just like walk right back down the fucking steps and like nothing happens.
Like
You don't have to steal anything. You could get some fucking info from his desk.
That's
and
true. All right,
blackmail his ass.
I go to unlock his desk. How many are we doing? Like, you want to do multiple checks for multiple locks, or?
I'm going to go ahead and have you do one thieves' tools check just for all of them.
Ah, fuck.
Oh,
Here
God.
we go, dude. Let me see if would that be under the tool proficiencies and custom skills or
Yes.
the items? Okay.
Tool proficiencies.
Here we go. Moment of truth. Wait. Input value. Oh, sorry. I would just change it to Dex or whatever.
Yes.
God help me. Oh,
Hey.
Nice. All right. You're able to get the desk drawers open, and you're able to start looking through all of them. Glancing through all the different drawers, you note that each drawer appears to deal with different subject matter as far as the different papers that reside within them. The top right just essentially has his itinerary for the next month or so, the things that he's planning on doing on a personal level. Glancing through that, you see that he has a bunch of bills that he's planning on signing, a bunch of decrees that he's planning on making, a few speeches that he has scheduled. You go into the drawer beneath that, and you note there appears to be some. It appears to be some letters that are sort of back and forth between him and someone named Gabe. Apparently, this Gabe person is supposed to be some sort of, from what you can tell from the writings, it seems to be some sort of military advisor / organizer that's explaining how militias work, the sort of legality of them, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, how a conscription service would essentially be implemented if one would need one. There is a warning, of course, at the end of it that says if you're going to use conscription, then you have to have an imminent threat, and you're going to need to prove that to the kingdom. And I don't want this town to have non-humans in it anymore is substantial enough to be an imminent threat, is the words that are written by Gabe.
Are there any like false bottoms in these drawers? Oh, fuck.
Well,
Okay, there's no false bottoms in these
Yeah,
drawers.
yeah,
Okay. And there's nothing else like in any other. Any other.
Those
other
are
drawers?
two of the drawers. Then you see another drawer, which the other drawers that are sort of locked, they just sort of have to do with all the different things that he currently has signed or is signing into law at the moment, including the sort of loaning practices, the taxation practices, the building of the wall, the allowance of the building of the different shanty towns outside of the wall. All those sorts of things.
Okay. How long has Radin and the mayor been gone?
At this point, probably about like 15 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna close the drawers and lock them again. Could I do that with these tools?
Yes, you can.
All right. Do I need another check or just the one?
Just the one check.
All right. So I lock them. Make sure all the papers are back where they were, and I turn to Bro and I say, I don't have. I mean, there's not much else here. I don't think we can steal anything. It's not going to go well for us.
Bro kind of just looks at him, shakes his head, and like climbs up onto his sleeve.
Okay. I go to the window. Actually, well, yeah, I go to the window because it would be fucking dumb if I just left the. Hey guys, I'm just leaving again.
Hey.
Did you guys just leave?
no,
Yep.
no. First time.
All right. I guess. I mean, I probably have to jump, right? I don't have like.
You can make an acrobatics check to climb down.
All right. See if I can be as good going down as I was going up.
You sort of lose your footing about like halfway down and sort of take a little bit of a spill. You
Ow.
only take 3 damage.
Okay.
What do I take? Anything?
If you're riding on them, it would depend. High or low.
Low.
Okay. All right. So you were not on the side that he landed on, so you're fine.
All right. Cool. So I'm gonna just meander my way into the courtyard or whatever, the plaza.
Ryan's getting about done sort of traversing the entirety of the square with Ryder. So as you can see, we got a lot of great things planned for this town. It's going to be a rather sprawling town. We're going to be able to expand a bit. We're going to be able to build the buildings up a lot taller buildings for more people. That way we can keep the wall the same way that it is. increase population, don't increase volume. Best of both worlds.
Interesting. Wow, that sounds like quite the plan. I sure you're very, very excited about it.
Oh, I'm very excited about it. Now, let me ask you something, son. You appear to be a bit of a rough and tumble type of character yourself. I can see it in your sort of the way that you carry yourself. You got a blade at your side. I assume you know how to use it. So my question to you is, what sort of combat experience exactly do you have?
Well, you see, I was in the King's Army quite a bit ago, but I gave up that life, and now I'm, you could call me somewhat of an adventurer.
I see. Perhaps you would like to perhaps return to that particular type of service just for a small little while. You see, in the future, I do plan on having myself, a method that I'm thinking of how to escort everyone off to a place where they can live on their own. And the world's a very dangerous place, and so we're going to need to have some people who are capable of defending the citizenry from being attacked by all sorts of terrible things, and also to keep them in line in case they decide that they don't want to go anywhere as a result of not being out in here anymore. I mean, listen, the life that they live outside of these walls is not a good one. So if they wish to stay, then that's just absolutely ridiculous on their end. It's just going to end up hurting them in the long run. So I would like to have them escorted to other places that might be a bit more accommodating to their kind. And it's going to require some people who are capable, as far as combat is concerned, to make sure that all this happens smoothly.
During this time, I immediately crawl up, because we can hear this conversation, right, or no?
As you're approaching, yes.
Yeah. I crawl up off of Jill or Gil. I ride up. I go up on Ryden's chest and I grab him by the shoulder or the thing or the chest, and I'm just bobbing my head.
I'll be like, "Oh, hey, buddy. It seems my friend's returned. That's an interesting offer you presented, sir. Since I just got to town last night, might you give me a little bit of time to make a decision, and I might be able to get back with you on your offer."
Of course. I don't expect you to be able to make a decision immediately.
Would this be? Are you offering a higher level position in your level of?
Absolutely.
Your
For somebody
service?
who's already extremely experienced, I would have you potentially be start off as perhaps in charge of your own unit, even.
Interesting offer. Like I said, maybe give me a few days, and I'll try to get back with you.
Well, if it does help you out on your decision a little bit, he sort of calls out as you're sort of trying to walk away. The monthly salary for your position would probably be something along the lines of 500 gold a month.
God damn.
I smile, but by my side, I'm kind of clenching my fist by my side. I'll be like, "Wow, that's quite the offer. Sweeten the pot quite a bit. I will get back to you, though."
Very well. You go ahead and you think about that. I'll be where I am.
And I
sort of
turn
heads back to
around
his
and
place.
I turn around and in stride with Gil, I just kind of mutter under my breath, "That fucking bastard," and I storm off ahead to go back to Leah's tavern, or inn rather.
To baby girl's tavern.
Yes. You sort of come into Leah's, and your countenance is extremely intense as you sort of burst through the door, sort of a rather focused and annoyed look on your face. And she sort of looks to you a bit startled and just "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you've met our mayor."
Yeah, I met that rat bastard. Not much in the mood for talking now, but if you'd like to join me sometime, I'd like a bottle of wine delivered to my room sometime in the next hour. And I kind of toss a couple coins on the bar and then head upstairs.
She sort of nods to you. Take your time. He can be fairly infuriating for a lot of people. All right. What are the rest of you guys doing while Raiden is settling down from his enragement?
I'm gonna talk to Leah.
You bastard.
I will also go with Gil.
We're talking
to,
business, all right?
chill with Leah.
I will go with Raiden.
Okay.
Imagine not gonna go see Leah.
Bro's got to be a bro first.
Bros before tavern keeps.
Rude.
Hey, Tavern keeps a perfectly respectable job.
Exactly.
So Leah sees the rest of you come in, and she sort of nods slightly. Well, honestly, she only really sees Gil, I guess. Well, I'll tell you, he didn't really. Your friend didn't really handle meeting Mayor Garayan all that well, did he?
He's a little abrasive, the mayor, that is.
Yeah, he has a way of phrasing things that make sense if you don't think about it. And I think that's probably one of the main things that sort of probably attracted a lot of the people to vote for him in the first place.
I can imagine. I did have a question. Have you? Is he known to interact with anybody? Does he have like a right-hand man?
Well, he doesn't have a right-hand man per se. He has a very high place of privilege within the sort of merchants guild that sort of governs the general trade of the region. But he doesn't really have, I don't know, somebody who is like his secretary or anything along those lines.
Also, can I get a vodka if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
Or what is it? 2 silver?
Immediately pours you a glass.
Is it 2 silver?
Yes.
Which is how many gold? Sorry.
It's 1/5 of a gold.
1/5 of a gold. Okay. So I'm doing shit. Okay. And then I'm gonna take that shit in one shot. Here we go.
Yep, not a problem. You're able to put that down easily.
Sweet.
Damn.
I'll have another one.
Jesus.
All right, go ahead.
It's all part of my roguish charm, dude. Well, so I'm not drinking it yet. I just had her pour it, and then I gave her the appropriate monetary compensation. I guess I'll ask, beyond like the most recent mayor business, has there been anything else in this town that's kind of got the attention of the townsfolk?
Of the townsfolk, well, nothing that you've been able to discover thus far, but essentially, yeah, I've already explained. Yeah, there's a general store and blacksmith and stuff like that. Yeah, that's really all that is concerned. And on the interior side, all you know is that the population feels somewhat limited, considering the size of the city of the town itself. And it is probably because of the fact that all the non-humans have been kicked out, essentially. But you haven't really experienced any of the people outside of the wall yet, outside of your initial impressions of them.
Okay. I flip 2 more, I guess, or 2 silver, right?
Mhm.
2 silver to Leah. I tell her to, I guess, buy herself a drink, and then I take this fucking vodka right to the head. Oh God.
Oh no.
Okay, you take that vodka, it doesn't go down near as well as the last one. I'm not sure whether or not you end up choking on it a bit, or if it just didn't hit the right way, or what happened. But you immediately feel a bit of a bit of rejection from your esophagus for a second as you're trying to down it, and as you force it back down into your stomach, you get sort of like a wave of like a bit of a hot flash.
Oh no. But keep it down though, right? Nothing comes out.
Yeah, you do manage to keep this down. It's only your second shot, so.
Okay. I think I'm gonna head off. Do you have any like a contact or anybody you're friendly with who's like a non-human?
Well, I do have somebody that I go out that I speak with on a regular basis. His name is Erdith. He's a guy who lives outside of the walls right now. He's an elf.
North, south, east, west?
Northwest.
Okay. And he's an elf. Okay, cool. Thanks for your hospitality. I'm gonna turn in.
All right. Have yourself a good night.
Yeah, you too. And then I go up to Ryden's room to fuck. Okay. I knock on Ryden's door.
Come in.
I open the door. Dude, Leah's so fucking hot.
I know.
Anyway,
During that time, I exit out of my what's it called form, and I go, I know.
So here's what I found in his office. I think he might just be a racist. We didn't find any evidence that there was some greater plot. And that's not to say that there might not be one, but in his desk, which was where he'd probably keep his most pertinent, important documents, right? It's just him, evidence of him pushing racist bills and agendas, and
Can we push him down the stairs?
I don't know if we'd be strong enough. He's a big guy.
Oh fuck, you're true. You're right. Fuck.
Yeah, he might just be a bad person. And maybe the Rangers just want this resolved because this is just bad for society as a whole.
Do we just go back then?
Well, we still have to fix the problem, right?
Oh.
Anyway,
No.
Leah told me about an elf friend that she has on the outside of town that we can talk to. So maybe we should do that tomorrow and see if there's like another side of the story, or if they know if they're privy to any information that we haven't been able to uncover so far. Besides this guy just being racist.
I've raised militias in the past, according to my lore. So, I've raised militias before in the past.
Just breaks out his backstory on a scroll. If you took a look at this.
If you take a look at this, in my record, according to the dice roll, I rolled, and I raised a militia to defend against an invading army. By the rules of D&D. Folk hero. But with that being said, I am of the fancy that I will go out to the outskirts and start riling up the rabble. And maybe, kind paladin, you can obtain a sizable force of your own through this individual. And then we happen to, have a nice little coup.
We could have a violent takeover. I'm not entirely against that. I would like to maybe speak to some of the people in the town who might want to listen to me and see if we could do it in a more peaceful manner, if possible. But let's talk to this elf before I go crying in the town center.
Wait, do these racist other people even exist? What if he's just fucking faking the votes?
Oh, do we think there's vote tampering from an outside city?
I mean, I think it's possible.
Racist people are everywhere. Look at Appleton. You saw the way they stared at us, staring at us so indiscriminately and just as if we were...
Yeah, but you stared at me like that too, so I don't know what to think.
Well, I stared at you like that because you were a druid.
Well, you're a druid.
Exactly. There's not many of us.
So you
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what do we want to do, Gil?
Well, I twisted my ankle coming off of his second floor balcony, so I probably need to relax for a little bit. But
What is the information that we're trying to glean from the elf friend?
trying to see if there's anything else like going on here maybe some events that nobody's talked about, or maybe
Okay.
he's seen something, or knows somebody who's seen something.
Yeah, let's go talk to him, and then I'll give my hand at public speaking.
Okay. Well, we need to like sleep or whatever because it's like probably. Well, what time is it actually right
Right now, actually, all you did is you woke up, you went to the mayor's place, and then you came back. So it's only
Oh,
about
right.
like 2 in the afternoon.
now? All right. Let's go then.
Well, a little bit of a problem.
What? Oh, he is in his.
Even though in my magnificence, and Chenners would have to be as well, right? Glub? Glebe? I call
Glub?
him. I call him. No, I changed names. I don't want to call him Glub. Call her Glub. I have to call her everything else but her.
Glob.
Glob. Gloom.
I heard my name.
Because she was talking, right? So she had to be transformed back as well.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I just kind of
So-
assumed. If we knew that,
Well, you
Yeah, I
guys literally
figured.
can't leave this room.
well, then we transform back, right?
Well,
I don't-
you can only do it like once a day, right?
Wait, shit! Is it not the end of the day?
No.
No, it's only 2.
Oh, well, fuck. Okay, I guess Glub didn't say any of that shit then, and she
No,
fucking
Glub-
still can't.
You can't.
You're just
you can't
rolling
just
it
go
back?
on that
You
now.
can't go-
Rolling back.
back.
Okay, well, I
No,
guess Glub
no.
is just chilling in this fucking room.
I think you guys might have to. Well, give me like 30 minutes, and I will see if I can find us a way.
Go get me a big coat. And a hood.
Would this apply here? The first part rather than the second part, or is it literally just like speed of travel? There, I wouldn't be able to like find like an alleyway that's like especially.
It would allow you to get it would allow you to sort of find ways for them to get around town where they can roll stealth at advantage.
Okay. Well, I think you guys should just stay here.
God damn.
Yeah, I can't. I find it hard to argue that.
I guess we don't anticipate anything happening, but we're just gonna go ask some questions and we'll be back.
I mean, Glub could just like wear like a cloak or something, right? And be like this weird.
Dude, you
deformed
don't think
child.
a city that's like at the height of like xenophobia or the height of xenophobia is being enforced, that they would like look under your hood?
Okay, true. All right.
But would they?
Yes.
And then
I say
Glub
yes,
starts
and then I
screaming.
leave the room and I leave the inn.
He's like, I'll follow you,
I'm
right?
not arguing this with you. All right. So you're heading over to find Mr. Elfman.
Yeah, I guess it's just me. I guess Ryan's not coming.
Wait, well, yeah, I am, right?
Move your fucking ship.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like
All
halfway
right.
there.
So you exit the walls. So you're
Yep.
not really stopped. You are stopped momentarily as as the guards sort of like double check you to make sure that there's like nothing strange on you if you're not trying to like smuggle anything or anything along those lines. But since you're not, it's not really going to be a problem. And you sort of ask around the sort of northwestern part of the ramshackle places that have been set up for the non-humans about this Erudith fella, and they sort of point you northward of where they are over to this little cabin over here. So you approach the small sort of cottage, I guess. It's a plaster single-story building. This appears to have actually been created before any of these sort of the shacks have been constructed. Probably something that you've been living in for quite some time. It's got a red tile roof, and outside of it, it actually has a small vegetable garden. Contains when you sort of like look inside the window as you're sort of approaching the door, you can see sort of like a single like sort of bachelor style room that has like a bed as well as a chest, and it's got a dresser on the far wall. In one corner there's sort of like a little hearth with a cauldron that's sort of just sitting over what would be a fire, and all throughout one of the sort of walls you can see like a bunch of hung cured meats that are sort of hung in sort of like bundles. And you also note that outside of the cabin itself, there appears to be a number of sort of sheep that are sort of grazing not too far from the house. Knocking on the door, you are greeted by this fella.
So rugged, dude.
He's pretty buff.
He and Lee are definitely clapping cheeks.
No.
Jesus.
And he sort of opens the door and looks to you and goes, "Hey, what can I do for you?"
We were, well, let me rephrase. We are new in town, and we, I think, are now acquaintances, if not friends, with Leah at the inn.
She's a right good girl.
Yeah, I'd say so. Anyway, we came over here after having a discussion with the mayor. We were wondering
whether or not you could stab him or not.
Well, yes, but there is a lot of fat there, so my sword isn't that long. But
axe is a bit of an extra bit of armor, yeah.
Yeah. I guess we were wondering, as friends of, non-humans, we could get your take or your experience, or because we obviously heard the mayor's bullshit, and we've heard Leah talk about it. But maybe you have a unique take as somebody who's on the other side of the wall, as it were.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've always been sort of outside of the city, of the town itself proper. I've been the type of person who sort of helps out people who need help. Got the vegetables here, got the sheep. I make my own sort of woolen clothes for those who don't really have a whole lot for them. And I'll tell you, I do all this without having too much money to my name. So when I hear the mayor talking about how he wants to help everybody and how this is for everyone's own good, he's got hundreds of thousands of gold in there. And what's he do with it? He builds this garish little thing here. He sort of gestures to the wall. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Really feels like more he just wants to boot us all out, which is fine. I've always been outside of the whole thing in the first place. I'm self-sustaining, take care of myself, but I can't take care of everybody else that he's thrown out here. I'm one person. I can't take care of everybody else who needs to be taken care of. None of them have jobs because they're not allowed to have any jobs. Because if they have a business, then they get taxed to the point where they can't run the business anymore. They can't work for a business because the only businesses that are allowed to work are the ones that agree not to hire them. So they're in a bit of a shit situation at the moment. If I'm not, and I'll be honest, it's looking pretty grim for most of the people outside here. They don't really know what to do. They don't know what to do with themselves. I'm trying to see if I find ways to feed them all, but it's an issue. Meanwhile, everybody's inside that wall, acting as if nothing bad's happening. You got people starving out here.
You're a bit of a woodsman. How many non-humans would you say are around, the outside of this wall total?
Altogether, it's scattered about, obviously, but altogether, I'd say about a good 1,000.
Were we able to get a good look at some of the entrances that we've gone in? Does it seem like there's a ton of guards at the gate, or I know he's trying to amass a militia, but are there a shit ton of guards patrolling?
It's just 2 at each gate, from what you can tell for right now.
And then
is there
a population is about how much? What's the population?
From what you recall, the demographics when you were discussing it with Jeremy is about 5,000 people.
And there's 1,000 non-humans outside the wall.
Yeah.
Interesting. We could, if it's okay with.
What, do you want to have a sidebar conversation?
I want to stage a peaceful protest with all of the non-humans walking into the city, and in this square, I want to give a speech in the town square with all the non-humans around.
Wouldn't that would take time to organize, right?
I mean,
yeah.
Aren't you a rogue? Can't you get a message out relatively quickly to a lot of people?
No, I don't think
relatively quickly doesn't mean can do it within the next hour.
Yeah, this would be a
Can we plan it for tomorrow?
Thing. I feel like I mean, I'm not the DMs. I don't want to say.
I feel like it would probably take a couple days to organize this.
I agree. Because you're talking about 1,000 people like coming together to protest, like as the idea of like somebody that they've like never heard of. But
I just want to.
I guess
I've been brewing something in my mind, and I really want to get it out there.
I'll tell you what. Before, like, do we actually have this conversation, or has this all been like metagame?
Well,
ideas?
okay, I want to be like, I think what I want to tell the elf. Obviously, what this asshole is doing is wrong, and I want to be a part of the solution. I don't want it to have to get violent, but he has to know that what he's doing is wrong. And from what I hear, there's a good chunk of humans in the city who agree with us that this isn't just.
The elf sort of like scratches his cheek a little bit as he looks to the both of you. Look, if you want to say something, I can probably help you out a little bit on that front. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get everybody together. I'll be honest, a lot of people are feeling pretty depressed at the moment from everything that's been going on. So getting them to get that spirit is gonna be a bit of a work. Not gonna lie.
I think it'll be worth it.
Well, I'll do what I can. I can't really guarantee a whole lot, but I'll gather who I can. Where would I tell them that they'll be meeting you at?
The town square.
Well, that's not smart.
I mean, they're not going to be able to just go in there.
At the town square at noon. Storm the gates.
No, we need to meet like outside the.
Okay. We'll meet at this gate right here. At the when the sun's at its highest point during the day.
Right. Not a problem. I'll go ahead and tell them to meet you there in about 2 days' time. I think that'll be enough time for me to get that to everybody.
Okay.
All right. So I guess Rad and I are gonna bid this dude adieu, and right? Are we? You need everything else for him? Right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Hey, look. Okay, so we're back in the room.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know how many guards that this dude has.
It's okay. Trust me.
Okay, so here's like something that I would like to do. I don't know how you would want me to do this. Over like the next like however long it's gonna take. You said like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, about at least a couple days. Yeah.
Okay. I guess during that time or whatever, I would like to like either by myself or if somebody wants to like assist, I want to like take up postings around the city and see like just get like a running count of like all the different guards that we can see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll spread out. I'll spread out too and get this.
I understand this is like gonna be like a all day event or whatever for like all the people who are participating, but yeah, that's like the idea of what I want to do over the next few days.
You're able to count. There's probably about like 40 guards altogether.
Oh, we just did it tonight.
Well, I'm saying over time.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, so we're time skipping. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's all I wanted to do for the next like couple of days until this protest. So 40 guards. That's not even yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, it's obviously more than we can handle, but if you have like 500 plus protesters or whatever who are pissed off, then push comes to shove, it should be fine, right? We're about to destabilize this whole fucking region.
Let's do it.
You know, sometimes you need to do a little bit of destabilizing. It's a good old fashioned way of freedom.
We're back with Bro and Glub.
Yeah, I assume you're explaining the plan to them as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're listening.
We're about to start some shit.
We're a protest is gonna happen in a few days. We're gonna just walk into the city, and then we're gonna see what happens. And Red, I guess, has some words he wants to say. So that's it.
Oh, okay.
So how do we know people are gonna come?
I guess we don't, but we're not losing anything if they don't, because we just wanted the protest.
True.
Okay, so we're not like me and Bro don't have to do anything stupid like
Nope.
bring secret things to people who aren't
No,
humans.
all you need to do is
Okay.
just hype me up on the day of the march.
I can do that. I can do that.
Wait.
Like be in the
I-
Glub and Bro. You guys just need to be in the crowd of all the non-humans and be like, "Oh, I heard about this guy. He's like super cool and like he cares about everybody, not just humans." Like hyping me up as a leader and a person.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how well I can do that, but I'll
That's
try.
okay. That's okay. Try your best, Glub.
Glub is a hype man. I love it.
Isn't this just going to be the justification he needs to form a militia from the kings?
Not if
I
it's a
told you
peaceful
all.
protest, and we will take back the means of production in Profar.
He's just gonna throw that one out there. All right.
Seizing the means of production.
All the scroll up and everything.
Oh shit. Oh boy.
This is gonna be some good ass memes, boy.
This is gonna be an interesting thing. All right.
I bet you've never had a peaceful protest in one of your campaigns before.
I've never had a piece. I'll be honest, this is the first. This is the first. Normally it's riots.
Should I guess are we all cool with like just skipping forward a couple days?
I
Okay.
assume everybody's cool. Just skipping to the time.
Are
we're
we
just going to
are we doing like hit die for restoring HP, or how do you want me to do?
This does count as a short rest, so you're able to do that if you need to.
What would that be?
You just roll your hit die.
Can I,
Where 2. So I have 2 hit die, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be 2d8. Or that's I think that's what it's naturally selected on. I can't. It's like
Yeah.
not. It just says
Probably
D.
only need one because it also adds your con modifier onto each roll.
There's it. I can see is parentheses D, and there's like the start of a number, and then close parentheses, and I can't see what the number is. So I don't know what
Right.
actual number it is.
just roll one of them.
So
Oh wait,
if
here
you
we
go to your thing, it says hit dice.
Right.
You got 2 on the total. If you hit the word hit dice once, it'll roll it for you.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm full HP again.
There you go.
God.
All right, cool.
I want to spend the next day or two in the room alone, rehearsing my speech.
Doing.
Can I get like inspiration on the check or whatever? If I finally
Yeah.
make
First,
it.
I'll be. Well, in order to do that, let me take a look at you here. Let me examine you.
Let me take a look at you here.
Roll me an intimidation check as well as a persuasion check.
Ooh. Good. It's not terrible.
Okay. Okay. So based off of that, the more I'll say that you'll have inspiration so long as the speech that you end up using is very how to explain it? Very fire and brimstone-y.
I can make it that way.
That's what appears to be rolling off your tongue the best.
Okay. I can do that kind of, yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Not a problem. Anybody else doing anything for the next couple of days?
Probably not.
Okay.
Can I casually like on and off like flirt with Leah?
Absolutely.
God damn it! Fuck you! She's gonna fall in love with me after I start this
Alright.
revolution.
So like, since we're like hand waving like the flirting or whatever, like should I just do like a persuasion?
Yeah, just do a
Like the-
persuasion.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Oh shit! You're
Yeah,
in.
you and Leah are after a certain point, you're very familiar with each other, and you exchange many flirtatious glances.
Yes.
While you have sort of your drink, and you're sort of like cradling it a little bit. She sort of like places a hand on yours every once in a while.
Oh
gives you
my.
a little bit of a wink. It's getting to the point where you're pretty sure that you're in.
It's heating up.
Hey,
dude.
don't forget when you're flirting with Leah, you're flirting with Lundy.
True, dude. That's why I'm doing it.
Like, this
Yeah,
very
like,
sexy
why are you-
individual.
Dude, why do you think I'm doing
insult
it, dude?
Lundy like that? Like,
No, I'm just saying when you're flirting with a girl in D&D, it's really
Tabor
a
was-
man.
Tabor was so into Leah, and then I
Yeah,
start
man.
getting in, and he's like, "Oh,
Just
you're flirting with Lundy."
Well, it's not even a real girl anyway, so.
He's fucking mad about it, bro. Okay. Anyway, so that's what I do.
Fuck
I'm
you, you
done.
can have her. I don't care.
Fucking simp.
I didn't even like her anyway.
You're a simp.
That's how I'm spending my next few days.
Ah, Jesus. Okay. So, a couple days pass, and you guys head over to the sort of meeting spot. Now, of course, you weren't able to get the entirety of the population of the people who live outside of the walls to join you. You're only about probably about a fifth of that. You count probably about a couple hundred people, as opposed to the 1,000 that live outside.
That's fine.
Still, it's a decent sized crowd. It's a lot of people for any particular event, and it's still way more than the 40 guards that you know exist within the city. So you're all gathered. The elf boy is there as well. Erdith. He sort of nods to you guys as you approach and says, "This is all the people that I could get to come by. So if that's going to be everything, they're ready to follow you, I guess."
Okay. I start leading the march. And
Oh, boy.
I don't have like a rhyme in mind, but we're leading a chant. It's like bum, 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 da, 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 ha, 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 ha. Like some sort of chant like that. I don't know what it would be.
Dude, that's really upbeat. Holy shit.
I don't know.
Fuck.
Is this a rap? Are you gonna start?
I don't know. But we're walking through.
That's a very complex beat. For a chant.
We're
Something
walking
like
through.
that. Yeah.
We're walking through. Tabor's like, about to drop this one time.
Yo.
So
All
you're
right,
all
we're
just making
walking.
noises. You're all making like random, very loud noises, trying to
God.
make it sound like some sort of chant. You're able to get through the front of the gate without too much of an issue. The guards try to stop you for a second, but when they note that you guys are just like fucking coming through, they just
Yeah,
like,
we're not
immediately
stopping.
retreat back in. As you guys make your way into the square itself, you note that Gorion is just sort of like standing at the other side of the market, and he's got basically all of his guards just sort of like dotting sort of like a line in front of him.
Is this a little podium right here? Is this a podium right here?
Well, it's for the town crier usually to use.
People are dying.
Huh?
There's 2 people died from corona today, and the governor announced a state of emergency.
Here? Sorry, 2 people died in Florida from corona. My fiance was telling me.
Are they boomers though?
I don't know. Okay, it's not a state of emergency in this house. Okay. Haley thinks she has corona. Okay.
I do have
At least we got internet today. Is my thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So you can go WebMD it.
Is this a podium right here?
Yeah, it's like town
Yes,
crier.
it's a podium
Okay.
that's usually used by the town crier.
I take my stand on the podium, and
Oh, he's going in,
I'm
dude.
nervous.
Oh fuck.
I get up there and I say to you today, my friends, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted. What's the nation that we're living in?
he asks this. in the middle of-
No.
Ria Rosha.
A dream deeply rooted in the Ria Rosha dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all sentient beings are created equal. I have a dream that one day in the red hills of Profar, sons of orcs and the sons of elves and the sons of dwarves will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in the state of Appleton, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, we will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. This is the final line. I have a dream that my 4 children, which I don't have, will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, by the content of their character. And I look at that fat fuck from across the town square. I say, "We, the people of Profar, will not stand for this injustice. The Kardashians are lying to us. This revolution will not be televised."
What the hell's TV?
I don't know. I just heard it and it sounds good.
This guy made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I kind of understood some of that.
So you guys are Goblin and Dragonborn now, right? You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point during that, you changed.
So
we were changed before. Just a token.
So the guards sort of like part ways a little bit, and Gorion just sort of steps forward, and he sort of steps up on the sort of other side of the raised platform across from you, and sort of like tilts his head slightly as he regards you. He clears down. Well, that was a lot of pretty words that essentially didn't really mean a whole heck of a lot now, did it, people? Now, let me explain something to everybody that might be something that you don't really know a whole lot about. This world runs on liberty. And that liberty exact if you have the opportunity to do so. And the opportunity is taken away from you, my good friends, if there are too many people of competing interests. You have an interest, you have an interest, everybody here has an interest. I don't begrudge you those interests, but many of those interests go against each other, only as a result of who you are. And that is not something that you have much control over. And when you don't have control over it, then that is going to inevitably create a problem. Now, I'll tell you this. If we had a world where everyone could live side by side, I would be glad to live in this world, but we do not. How many people here have had their loved ones harmed, have had their loved ones taken advantage of, have had their loved ones absolutely devastated, or, Lord forbid, killed by those who are not of their own race? It doesn't just happen to humans, people. It happens to everybody. Humans do it to non-humans. Non-humans do it to each other and to humans. We all do it. This
What if
is
humans
something.
just suck less?
This is something that we need to get over as a people. And the only way that we can get over it is if we all come together to understand that those who live equally.
What's the crowd like at this point? Like the protesters?
Well, you have your crowd here, obviously, the 200 people from the outside, but you also have like a bunch of people who are just sort of like coming out of the different buildings, just sort of like filling up the town square. So I'm going to do a GM roll real quick.
Do I get a rebuttal to this guy?
If you like, yeah.
Yeah, I was just asking like what the general like vibe is.
So the general vibe right now is that there's a lot of people who are out here who are somewhat curious. You can see that the sort of counter speech that was given is at the very least it's picked the interest of a decent amount of the the human audience. Your group has absolutely no interest in anything that this blowhard has to say. It doesn't seem.
So like all the protesters are not impressed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They see straight through everything that he's saying.
Okay. What's this NPC's name again?
This one?
The fat guy.
Yeah, Gorion.
Gorion, I speak to those who have just come out of their doors, who heard the nonsense coming out of your mouth, and while it might speak to some, I choose to give words that will speak to all. I will not deny that there are differences between orcs, elves, dwarves, but I believe, and so do my compatriots behind me, that because of these differences, when we come together, we become stronger than any one of our race could be on its own. We make up for our faults. We cover for our own, but we also cover for those less fortunate than us. We bring everyone up together, and I promise you that no matter how hard you want to divide people, at the end of the day, at the end of the millennia, we will all come together to be one.
Go ahead and roll me a performance check. Re-roll it.
Fuck.
What?
Oh,
No, that was a perception.
Perception.
That was a perception.
Oh.
Oh,
There you go.
God.
Okay, all right.
Ah.
The crowd murmurs a little bit to your sort of like your sort of counter to him, and Gorion sort of cracks his knuckles a little bit and says, "Sir, I dearly wish that we lived in the fantasy world that you believe that we all live in, but we do not. We live in a world in which everybody is at constant war with each other. 10 years ago, we were at war with 3 different countries, as it were. We were only able to push them back due to a lot of people who ended up losing their homes and ended up having to migrate to many different places. They were displaced. We used to have a world in which people were more or less segregated naturally, but we didn't have that choice after the wars many years ago. So I merely ask that we return back to the ways that things used to be, when things were better, before the times of the war, before the times of poverty, before the times of the great crime, before the times of failed businesses. I want everybody working. I want everybody making money. I want everybody being safe and secure in themselves is what I wish for everybody to have. You, on the other hand, wish for everybody to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. I tell you, sir, it's never going to happen."
I do not wish that. Everyone knows the wars of our past are due to misunderstandings. To the misunderstandings between people who did not talk to one another. Mr. Gorion, let me finish. All wars are based on one misunderstanding or another. And when we all come together and push our differences aside, there will be no misunderstandings. There will be no disagreements. There will be but peace.
No walls. No wars. No walls. No wars. No walls.
I'll give another performance. Oh my god.
All right. All right. Your strange new voice confuses a lot of people, and they don't understand what it is that you're doing. So your message is a little bit lost on them, and you're not grabbing as many people as you kind of want to be right now.
I'm so scared of this stealth roll.
Yeah, holy shit.
The Gorion simply like shakes his hand in your direction and says, "I think your time in the spotlight is over there, son. You've done your best to try and appeal to everybody's sense of greater empathy and all those sorts of things. But I'll tell you this, I was elected for a reason. There is an internal strife that we all recognize that I am speaking to. Everyone knows what it is that I'm talking about, and everyone knows what needs to be done in order for us to get over this. Now, you can cooperate or you can fight back. Those are your choices, and I welcome anybody who wishes to do the latter, but I don't recommend it."
I cast Compelled Duel at Grind.
Oh, fuck.
And I say,
Okay.
"Eat your words, Gorion."
So
I thought this was peaceful.
Wait.
no.
Well, you guys
Okay.
don't know
It
what,
was.
you don't
Oh.
have. I don't think that works, does it? Oh. All right, let's see.
Just double checking a couple things here.
please.
What are you doing, Arne?
Okay, so as you do this, firstly I need to, I believe it's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
He makes it, unfortunately.
Mm.
But as you demand him to confront you, mano a mano, an arrow sails out from the guard ranks and narrowly misses Raiden.
Are you fucking typing? Okay, I kind of dodged it like that.
This causes a lot of people to start like shouting and screaming as it appears that Raiden was attacked in the guard ranks. We're not entirely certain.
Treachery! Treachery! Revolution! Revolution!
Thank God for having a 19 AC. Holy shit.
Two guards immediately grab onto Gorion and start whisking him away and towards his place, while the rest of them sort of close rank around and
Rush him!
everybody from doing anything.
I say, he knows his words are lies, and he's scared of the movement that we are producing.
Bro, why are you still a lizard though?
Oh, he's not. He never replaced his
Yeah, he didn't
toga.
replace it.
Wait, do I have to do that?
Yeah, you can
it's over in the
easily do
corner.
that.
All the crowd's been hearing
Go to
is
your thing and you drag and drop your character sheet on. Why are you still? Oh my god!
Oh my God, there's two of them.
Wait, why is this one went back to a lizard?
No, it's good. You got
There
one
you
now.
go.
Movement!
So, from the chaos that has just ensued, all of the protesters that you're with, they decide this is it. They're trying to forcibly put you guys down now. So they're going to start charging these guards. The guards are doing everything they can to push them back. It's an utter chaos right now. A lot of the humans who are a part of this, they're immediately like start running back into their own sort of places and start locking the doors and such, while the protesters start grappling with the police with the guards. It's utter chaos right now as Gorion is being escorted back to his place. There's a big fight going on in front of you guys between your protesters and the guards. What are you doing?
Glove is confused.
I'm confused too.
I turn and I yell, like, what's the guy's name who we're chasing?
Gorion.
Grime. I'm like, let's go get Grime. Gorion.
Like Ryan. And
I don't
like
understand these
combined.
dragonborn names. Don't fault me and my tongue.
Anyway, I'm gonna start ushering people, I guess, through this side passageway, because I assume they're all like, most of this is happening.
Yeah,
here.
most of it has to do with trying to chase down him using this particular spot. The guards have essentially like cluttered around here to prevent anybody from passing.
Can I run up? Can I run up there, right next to him?
Wait, just come. Look,
what?
Come this way.
I'm a people person.
Well, there is like 200 other people who are like crowded up in front of you, so it's kind of difficult to try and push your way through all of them.
All right, whatever. I was just gonna use a spell and blow the fuck back away. Whatever.
Whatever you want to do. I'm just letting you know that there's a crowd of people in front of you.
All right. I know. I do know what I'm gonna do. So. We're going back.
Nice. The nat 1. There we go.
Woo!
There you go.
I'm just like hanging out in the alley. I'm not like trying to approach, but like, yeah, still, that's not very good.
All right.
Can I transform into a cat?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
I just want to be a cat for like half a second, just so I can like hurry up and stealth until like I'm like behind the guards.
Oh my
God.
All right, I'll make you a spotted cat.
Yeah, I'm just like a spotted cat for like half a second, just so I can get behind the guards get out of the guards. And
So what you're doing, just to clarify, you're going through here, like where you were asked to come from. Then you turn into a cat halfway through here, so that you can get here.
I guess
You know you're like stuck back there, right? Like, I know I'm metagaming right now.
no, like if I'm stuck behind, just wait.
Okay.
So I'm behind the guards, right?
As a cat.
As a cat,
Mm-hmm.
I get out of my cat form, right?
No.
And I'm like, ha ha, or whatever.
Okay.
And I want to cast. I don't know how to cast. Oh, I want to cast this.
Isn't that like an actual spell?
Yeah.
And with the intention of like move, because it moves everyone out of the way. It moves everything and everyone out of the way.
1, 2, 3. 3 of them don't get pushed back. 3 other guards do, however, and they get like shoved into the crowd of people.
Oh god.
Is that enough to break their formation? So
it is a lot, and the ones that aren't pushed back are still hurt by that, and as a result, there's like a very large like gap being placed in between all the guards that. Then the people start to make their way through, and they start swarming the guards themselves for a little bit before sort of like shoving them to the ground and stomping on them before sort of like rushing past and getting back to Gorian's place, of which they are now like surrounding the building.
Aha! This is how you do it. Let's go. Kill them. And he runs.
So there's no like guards around his building anymore, right?
Actually, yes. They're not around the building. They're inside.
Got it.
From your vantage point, you were able to see the 2 guards. When they saw the crowd was coming, they immediately rushed back inside, and you knew that there were 2 other ones that escorted them back in here.
So there's 4 total in there?
Mm-hmm. At the very least, from what you know.
I don't know if we can do 4 guards and a fat bowling ball guy.
Fuck yeah.
Can I run to try to find Glub?
Yeah, Glove's just like scared, confused in the crowd.
I don't know what happened.
Oh,
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna run reunite with bro, and I guess I'll run back here because I guess you guys are just hanging out.
Rogue, this is how we kill him. Light the building on fire.
Ooh, I mean that's a thing that we could do. I guess that's
Roll the Adam Sandler clip. This is how we win.
pretty.
This is how we win. Light the building on fire. They must come out to us.
Pretty
We
macabre.
the people.
I wish my fucking music worked right now.
Fuck,
Light
dude.
the building ablaze.
All right. Hey, dudes. I'm saying this to our dudes.
Hey, dudes.
Hey, so Grian is holed up in his house. It is not looking great for him.
Burn them all.
We have a couple different options here. But we should definitely be like probably the ones to confront him before that violent mob gets in there. If we want any kind of hope at some kind of semblance of a peaceful resolution.
This
Otherwise,
would be a peaceful resolution.
otherwise they're gonna put this guy. They're gonna put this guy into Leah's fucking casseroles.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with eating the rich.
Yeah. He knows. He knows.
Wouldn't this be like? I guess like because of your past or whatever. But I feel like burning a dude alive or like letting a dude get like mob lynched would be like kind of dark. No.
It'd be like dark, but I'm like, I would probably think I'm like chaotic good because it's for the good of the people, not so much some of the individuals. What
do
and
you
at
actually?
the same time, it's kind of his decision because he
what did I
doesn't
put?
have to be burned alive. He can leave.
Well, I'm starting neutral, but like I am like kind of more for the good of the people, and like I pretty much like fuck all monarchy and like people who try to like rule single-handedly over a group of people, rather than like a council or something.
Well, hey friend, they shot an arrow at you, so you do what you want.
Yeah, they did shoot an arrow at me.
Whoa, nobody.
I
your
didn't say that. No,
perception-
I didn't say that in game.
Yeah, because you're. I don't think
I'm thankful someone shot an arrow
your
at me.
perception was not good enough to discern who.
No,
shot
no,
a
no,
fucking
no, no,
arrow.
not at all. Not
in
game
character,
whatsoever.
you think that they shot an arrow.
Yeah,
at
no,
you.
for sure, for
Okay,
sure.
okay.
I'm still
Making
not
sure.
sure why you did
Calm
that.
down,
Metagame though, metagaming. I'm not.
We
sure.
can talk about it. We can talk about it later.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, no, I had no clue that they did that. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Let's go inside and confront them. Like, I don't care how many people we have to fight. I think we can take that many people.
Okay.
I'll walk over.
All right. God, I hope you're right.
Just so you know, getting through the crowd itself is a bit of a task, since they've surrounded the building and they're sort of like shouting and screaming and like
Burn it!
fucking pounding on the walls and such.
Burn it!
So finding a way inside is going to be a bit tricky. The front doors obviously have been locked and barred in response to the angry mob.
Still have the window, right?
Yeah, there is still a window.
That we all have to be able to make successful climb checks or whatever.
Or one person does and then puts down a rope.
Oh, okay. Would that be included in like an adventurer's
Yeah,
pack?
usually every adventurer's pack has ropes. All of them do.
Did I include an adventurer's pack in my shit? I thought I did.
I have a rope. I think so.
I don't see. Would it just be under your tools or?
It would be in your inventory.
Yeah.
Where's my inventory? Am I?
In the bottom middle.
What?
Next to where your gold is.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to add a pack. Oh well.
God damn it.
Does anybody have rope?
Here, take my rope.
I also have.
Okay.
Because I know how to do my thing.
I can try this. I mean, I got lucky on the first attempt in this window, so we'll see if we can recreate here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh fuck.
Oh wow.
What do? You just bash the window open and then lay a rope down?
So he sort of like takes a step back, sort of like rolls his head to one side, rolls his head to the other side, looks to the crowd of people who are sort of in front of him. They're sort of like trying to get into one of the side doors that's been locked and barricaded, and he just sort of like rushes forward with the rope in hand, leaps on top of one of their shoulders, and then leaps off of that onto the windowsill.
Okay. Sick.
Does a bit of a front flip as he does so, just for a little bit of added style.
Yep. All right, cool. And then I guess I'm gonna lower this rope in such a way that normal people don't just like start grabbing at it. It'd be cool if you guys moved your tokens over to the appropriate spot on the map so that we could all see what's going on.
Oh my god! Why are you the way you are? Why are you the way you are?
Why you guys are really bad
I knew
with
we were
the
over
tokens.
there. Okay.
So I lower the rope and I start helping people up or whatever.
All right. So this allows all of you guys to essentially just make strength checks to get yourself up there, and it's not a very difficult one.
Nice.
Ryder, you're able to make it up, no problem.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Our druids are having an issue.
Oh god!
Did they get to like try again eventually?
Yeah. The problem is that they're trying to grab a hold of it, but then like other people are sort of like also grabbing a hold of it and sort of like tugging on it really hard. They're sort of like it's getting like ripped out of your hands by other people who are also ripping out of each other's hands. Like there's a big fight going on for the rope right now. Go ahead and roll another one to see if you can get a hold of it.
Please, God. Thank God. Thank God.
Okay.
Wait. What's the save?
And then from there, well, it's essentially the same, based off of the numbers. Okay, so from there, you're able to get a hold of the rope again. You're able to both climb up. So now all four of you are climbing through the window of the office, which is not where our esteemed mayor is currently hiding. So you're in an empty office right now.
Oh, sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess let me make sure that all the things that I saw before are still there. Well, that's not very high, but
I'll just be like, get the fucking egg. Get the fucking egg and let's
the
go.
egg's still there. The painting's still.
Got it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the. Well, how big is the painting? Is it like a little portrait thing, or like?
It's actually fairly large. It would be kind of cumbersome.
Okay, the egg is like I could put that.
The egg's probably about like about like a foot by a half a foot.
All right. Well, I don't have a pack, so I grab the egg and I walk over to Glub and open her pack, and I just shove it right in there and then close it.
Don't eat this.
Yeah. Don't eat this egg. And I guess are the books still there?
Yeah, the books are still there.
Do
You're
we
able
use
to
the
take
same?
the ones that say original
Yep.
copy on them.
Yep. Got it. And then I'm gonna throw those into Raiden's pack, I
It's
guess.
gonna be a riot. Might as well steal shit.
Yep. All right. Cool.
All right, let's find this
Let's
fucker.
yep. Let's go ahead and go downstairs.
All right, you head outside of the office and you sort of glance around. You see that you see a bedroom a little bit away from the office, and you can hear a lot of shouting coming from inside of the bedroom.
We're trying to kill these guys, right? Or what's the well, I'm asking my my compatriots.
I just thought
We're killing the
riot.
guards, but we're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do with Grind when we get our hands on him, but
Okay.
whoever gets in our way.
You're doing
So wait, has anybody died yet? Or do the guards that like the protesters got a hold of? Were they just like beaten?
It's hard to say if any of them have actually died. They've certainly been trampled on.
We'll get
Okay.
a body count after.
I'm just really well. As an aside, I'm worried this is gonna like flip it the other way or whatever, where like the humans are disenfranchised and shit upon.
I
and-
tried to reach as many as I could because I talked 3 times, but I did what I could.
We definitely could have gone about this more methodically. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I guess,
Thanks,
I guess
Arne.
are we just going? Are we just
We
going down the
could've.
hallway or?
Yeah, I'll lead the way. I'll walk down the stairs or whatever, wherever we go.
All right. Heading over to the bedroom, you're able to sort of look through the keyhole, and you note that there is Brian, who's sort of like looking outside of his bedroom window, looking down at all the people. You note that there's at least several other figures whose shadows are being cast in the room. Yeah, it's locked, but luckily you have somebody who can handle that.
Well, if they're lucky enough, right?
Yeah.
What's the game plan here? Are we just busting in and pulling our swords out, or
Yes.
do we want to try to apply any kind of finesse to the situation?
No.
No,
All right, hey,
There's a
Oh,
riot
okay.
outside.
there's a riot.
mum's the word. Here we go. I'm gonna pull out my tools and give this the old "How's your father?" There you go.
Oh, hey.
Okay. Easily done. I'm just going to make something real quick here.
Burn them.
There's actually 8 guards in there.
No, I just want to make something that's actually like a map that you can like work with.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Go
kill the
with this.
guards. We're gonna kill the guards, and Gorian's gonna resurrect him because he's a fucking lich.
Oh fuck! And that's how we know.
Lundy's like,
Secretly, I was lit all along.
Lundy's like, fuck, dude. How
How
did
did I
like,
think of that? Fuck.
how did he know?
Why would I just throw a random lich at you? In the front of the
I'm
chair?
fucking around.
That was.
He's actually a
That seems-
necromancer
that
the whole
seems out of
time.
nowhere.
Chenners was right all along with her wild guesses.
Of course.
He's part of this. He's part of this league of necromantic mayors.
Yeah, all the mayor, every mayor is
LNMs.
necromancer.
Yeah.
It's the Illuminati of this world.
Yeah.
If you're a mayor, you have to be a necromancer now.
Chenners was just like the 9-head big brain ahead of the curve.
Conspiracy theorist hobo.
Okay, so. We'll go ahead and do it this way.
I see Grind and I say, enough of the malarkey. You're about to get clobbered.
And then I told him, "How would your hair fare in a riot?"
Enough of the
I
malarkey.
swear to God.
No
For
more
those who got
malarkey. It's clobbering time.
Oh, damn it. I put them on the wrong layer. Delete.
It's the worst.
Token. We want the token layer. That way they can actually be seen and interact with.
Tabor, are we playing Call of Duty tomorrow?
Yes.
He looks so fucking funny like that. All right. Switch you guys down here.
Aha.
Let me grab you guys. Copy. Paste.
Dude, this is a big fucking house. Goddamn.
Anyway, so you manage to open the door. You see that there's 4 guards in there. Grind's up, sort of like standing on top of his bed, looking out the way. If you're busting in, sort of blades out. Well, it's gonna be initiatives anyway, because these guards are going to be stabbing whoever the fuck walks in here.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So let me grab
Nice.
turn order here.
The nat 1.
That didn't happen. Don't worry. Shh. I didn't have my token highlighted, so it didn't count.
That's not how that works at all.
Sorry, I also got a nat 1.
Nice.
Does Dex boost your initiative?
Okay,
Oh.
I'll fix that.
Yes, it does.
How am I gonna fucking nat 20 right after? It's bullshit.
Also, for the record, I just opened the door. I'm not going into this fucking room, okay?
I'm just making sure everybody's is correct here. Yeah.
Let's burn them.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was
really,
kind of
gotta get rid
planning
of that,
on
and then
leading the
we're
way, but...
Okay, let me just go ahead and add these guys onto the turn order.
Dude, these guards are gonna be fucking beefy, dude. I can feel it.
They're some bumfuck town in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
I can't. Oh, no.
Dude,
Well, racist
we're just like
ticks are the most dangerous.
we're just like some bumfuck adventurers. Like,
No, we're not.
I am a folk hero. Dragonborn druid.
this dude literally led a fucking militia of pigs or whatever it was, deer.
I'm about to be a revolutionary, but you know.
You're literally a hobo.
All right. I can't get in the right mindset for this unless I'm listening to battle music, and I can't get my goddamn jukebox to work. So I'm gonna get some going for myself at the very least.
What are you playing so we can all?
Some too.
Well, considering this, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Final Fantasy all battle themes sort of list. I think that'll be good.
Got it.
There we go. Okay. So, first up is going to be the guards. You guys are popping in. Who's number 1? I'm guessing it's Gil because he's the one who ended up opening the door in the first place.
Unfortunately, yes. Golly, I hope he doesn't hit me.
Be rather unfortunate.
All right. So, they're going to try and form a little bit of a wall here. So that's an 18 and a 24 to hit you, Gil.
To hit? Or that's damage.
To hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits me.
Yeah. You take 15 damage.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, this was smart.
Told you guys, we should have set it on fire.
Yeah.
They're just bum fuck hit. Good luck.
We're also level 2, Smile.
Yeah.
Riding.
Okay. Hold on, wait, I want to see this.
Are you dead?
I'm
Well,
knocked
he's at
out.
0 HP.
Oh, fuck.
Ah.
Alright, well, I'll just smack this first one that I see. And then, yeah,
Right, that hits.
I'm gonna do this.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I'll Divine Smite it as well. So is that 2d8?
Yes.
20 damage total.
Easy. Will you let me do things to you, please? Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna put him over here.
Nice.
He's not an issue.
Okay.
So that's the first one. Is that everything you got? You can do for this turn, right,
Yeah.
bro?
I kind of like move over at this corner and kind of like in a, I don't want to say defensive position over what's his face, but like clearly trying to get him out of there. And I go ahead.
Okay. Roll me a strength check to see if you can just like sort of like drag him the fuck out of the way. All right, not a problem. You're able to do that.
All right. I want to use my dragon breath.
Where am I being dragged to? Like here?
Yeah, I'm just getting. I'm not dragging you far. I'm just like
Throw him towards
So
me.
they can't.
Throw him towards me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they
well,
can't, like,
pick
poke you.
where, like ping where you're tossing me or whatever, so I
Yeah,
can move my thing.
towards him.
Yeah, there we go.
And then I want to use that dragon breath right in that
Okay.
corner.
It's a line, so
Is it a line?
yeah. If you go over to the toolbar on the left-hand side, there's a snap to center thing tool. There you go. All right. So, because of the close quarters, you can get this one. This one. Yeah, you can only really hit one of them with a line, unfortunately.
Well, technically, lines have curves still, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. If that's the case, I'm going to get this dude right here. Just this guy right here in the middle. So, like, so it gets kind of closer to him, so he can feel it.
Okay, wait a minute. Actually, yeah, if you do a straight to here, yeah, sure, that'll hit both of them.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, there we go.
How do I check? I don't think I.
It's a 30-foot line. Basically, they're going to be rolling something. Neither one of them made it. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for damage.
Oh.
Okay, 3 damage to both of them.
Yay!
Okay.
God.
So, you spew out a line of green acid that just poured into the other side of the room. It goes through 2 of the guards, sort of singeing both of them as it goes past them. And you kick Gil to the side so that he's not in the way. Gil, roll me death save. That's a pass.
Nice.
Yay.
1 success.
Oops. There it is.
Oh wait,
That would have been a way better roll.
were you rolling all the guards at once? Is that why the rolls were high?
I was rolling 2 of them
Oh, okay.
because the other 2 are kind of like sticking back a little bit.
Got it. So 15 was their combined damage, not a single
Yes.
guard's damage. Oh, okay.
All together, yeah.
That's a little less than... Okay.
All right. So, Gil, you have succeeded in your death save. Glub.
All right, Glub's gonna throw infestation,
Okay.
and what one has already been hit? This one?
These 2 here have both been hit.
Okay, then I'll hit this one, the closer one,
Gotcha.
and yeet that fucking cloud of fucking mites and shit at him. God damn it!
He makes a save, unfortunately.
God damn it! That's all I got.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all. That's it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one's going to move down here, take the place of the one guy who has been struck down by Raiden, and he's going to attack Bro, while this other dude is going to be attacking Raiden.
I'm gonna call him a bitch.
Okay. You call him a bitch, and he bitches out.
And then he gets a nat 20.
And this one's for Raiden. All right, both of them miss. Cool.
Jesus.
Hardcore.
It's the way we do it.
That would have been nice on before.
My turn.
It is Raiden's turn now.
I lay on hands my brother Gil to restore 10 hit points to him.
Pog.
Gil, you're back to 10.
Feels good. It feels good to be back in the fight, let me tell you.
Do I... Is that everything, or can I, like, ready in action?
You can't really do any more, like, aggressive actions, but you can, like, move if you want.
Yeah, I'll, like, move in front of Gil.
Okay. Gotcha. You're moving into them, so it's not really an issue.
Okay.
All right. Back to Bro.
Bro, which one was the one I called a bitch?
You called
This one, right?
This one a bitch.
All right, I'm gonna go swing at him. I'm like, this is the way, and then I.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Beat his ass.
Don't you just love when the shit talking pays off?
Yeah,
All
right.
That definitely hits. Roll damage.
Just click on it, right?
Another 3 damage. So while you're extremely accurate, it's kind of the bonk. You just kind of bonk him on the head. He looks very annoyed by this, but he's still up.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I call him a bigger bitch. Is that it for you then, bro?
I guess so.
Alright. Gil, your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get like some defilade action going on.
Gotcha.
So I'm like peeking over the top of the stairs. I'm gonna shoot an arrow at this dude, the bitch
Alright.
dude.
Oh my god.
I don't
See, well, this is like all the karma for like rolling like the nat 20 acrobatics checks and the thieves tools and like all
you
that.
can't be badass all the time.
Fucking Leah, like it's all coming back to me.
It's all
now,
because
dude.
of fuck Leah.
Okay, so how do you want to like do something for the nat 1 or?
No, I don't really do stuff like
All
that.
right, so
I
can
I feel it's too mean.
Oh, I like that.
It hits right
Can
in
I,
between the eyes.
Do you want me to do stuff?
No. I've
Me preferably, I enjoy that stuff. I think it's a good counterbalance because if you need something great to happen when you hit a nat 20, you think something
I'm
negative
about
to
to
happen
mute
when you hit a nat 20.
I played a game where I rolled 3 in a row in one fight, and it was the worst feeling in the world. So I would preferably
good.
not want to. Can I do the cutting action meme and try to like hide on the stairs or whatever where they can't see me?
Yeah, you can sort of like duck behind the
Yeah,
stairs.
basically.
They're kind of they can't really like advance forward to like look at you because
Right.
you got 2 people in front of them.
So-
Plus, you could be anywhere from here to here, so
Right.
they can't really tell.
So let me do one
All
of
right.
these. Right. Well, I need to roll for stealth.
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Cool.
Club.
Alright, Club is gonna do another just like yeet an infestation thing since it's a cantrip and I'm just gonna keep fucking spamming it.
Cool. You can do that. Doing it on this guy here.
Yeah.
What spells do you have?
Not a lot of useful ones.
Okay.
He fails.
Nice.
So go ahead and roll 1d6 poison damage, and we're gonna roll a 1d4 here.
Nice.
Oh shit! It's going
So
towards
yeah,
the
north.
fat guy.
Oh fuck.
I'm assuming north is up, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Ah, shit. Hold on. I need to move you for a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so 6 damage on him, and actually, so you put forward your hands again, and you start summoning a bunch of small little grubs and maggots and spiders and such that just start eating from the inside out as they start appearing outside of him, and he starts screaming and
Oh
runs
my
forward, and he just
God.
immediately falls down and dies.
Holy shit!
I go, fuck yeah.
So yeah, he's now being eaten.
I just assumed that she would grab some fucking fleas from her hair and eat them.
It's a spell, Glub.
It's a cloud.
Yeah, but look, you get the cloud.
You
from
think
all
you're
the
just like
shit that's
literally
in her
picking
hair.
fleas out of your hair and you're just throwing them at them?
She's just
exactly.
scratching her head like this really hard and going like that.
Creating a cloud, yeah.
It's a little bit rougher than that, actually. Yeah.
So now there's like a cloud of bugs and mice and shit, like here?
Yeah, basically like on his body.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 2 left. This one's going to move forward, and he's going to try and attack the closest person he can, whereas this guy's going to do the same for himself, so Raiden and Bro again.
Oops.
All right.
Hits.
Raiden doesn't get hit. Bro does get hit. For 9 damage.
I say he's less of a bitch than his friend, but still a bitch.
All right.
I can't.
That's sort of their turn. Raiden.
Swing my warhammer. Does that hit?
That does not hit.
Boo. That's all I got.
All right. Bro.
Did we hit this guy at all yet?
The guy who just hit you? No. He's fresh.
This one's been damaged.
Yep. That one took damage earlier from your breath attack.
Alright, I gotta do what Bro would do. No, what would be a smart thing to do? So, with Bro, I call this guy a bitch. A bigger bitch.
The biggest of bitches.
Aw.
And you miss. As you call him a bitch, you swing out your quarterstaff, he sort of ducks behind the doorway, and you end up hitting the side of the doorway instead of him.
What a jerk.
All right.
Gil.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot another arrow.
Okay.
At the bigger bitch.
The bigger of bitches.
The bigger of the bitches. Did it go? There we go.
13 does hit, yes.
Oh. Nice. So we'll do this. Then it's 1d6 for the sneak.
Okay.
So 10.
Ooh, 10 altogether. Okay. So an arrow just sort of like sails out from over top of the stairwell, goes over Glub's head, and immediately like sinks itself straight into the inner shoulder of the guard as he sort of like staggers a bit from the hit.
Nice. I like wanted curved the arrow.
Glub is gonna yeet another infestation.
Alrighty.
Actually, you know what? No, yeah, I'm just gonna yeet another infestation. Fuck it.
More infestations. Everybody gets spiders.
Everybody gets spiders. I'm throwing at this dude.
Alright. He fails.
Oh shit!
Roll that damage.
Oh shit!
Okay. He is also eaten alive.
Jesus Christ.
Just screamed.
Jesus Christ, Glub!
My eyes.
All right. So we got one guy left. He's sworn to protect. Or don't roll. There we go. Okay. He fails at protecting though, so that's unfortunate for him. Raiden.
We didn't forget about you, Oh God, why did I forget his name again? Gariden?
Ryan.
Gorion.
We didn't forget about you, Gorion.
I didn't forget about you, whatever your fuck your name is. That's the best. That's the best.
Jesus
4.
fucking Christ.
All right, 4 and 7.
No, just 4. I
yeah,
hit
yeah,
it twice, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. All right, you sort of like raise a hammer, boom, smash on the dude. He sort of like tries to block a little bit with his shoulder and ends up taking a bit of a hit as a result. Bro.
Bro is going to, where is it? Use his ability called Cure Wounds on himself.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and heal yourself. Touch thine self, healer.
Bam.
All right.
Am I able to move or no?
Yeah, you can move.
All right. And then just move back to here.
Well, if you move that way, you're gonna get an attack of opportunity. Just so you know.
If I move here.
Yeah.
All right, move there.
If you move away from him, he gets an attack of opportunity.
Oh, well, I kind of disengage.
Disengage kind of requires more of an action. You can't really heal yourself as well as disengage.
Okay, well, I call him a bitch.
Just take it like a man.
That's it.
Okay. Gil?
One more arrow at this fine gentleman.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Oh, you hit.
That's definitely a hit.
And I didn't sneak last turn, so it's just the 6.
That's fine, because that's all you needed is an arrow goes straight through his neck and he
Yes.
falls back down to the ground.
Yes. That's what I say when I kill him.
No, no.
Yes.
All right, now I
You
want to throw
don't do that around
infestation
here.
at the fat guy.
No, Glad.
Well, no, not yet. It's
Oh.
not like I'm just saying.
Just
Okay,
your,
okay, oh.
just your.
When-
There's just
when
a
I
cloud.
can.
There's just a cloud of your lice floating next to his head or whatever.
When I can, I would like to.
Okay, well, it is.
I
guess
figure we
your
need to talk to
turn.
him.
Okay. Glove is gonna skip her turn then, so that Ryden can talk before she goes nutty.
Okay. Well, there's a bunch of dead guards in here. Gorion is sufficiently frightened. He's got an angry mob outside. All of his guards inside are dead. He's just sort of looking at you with his hands up, going, "What do you want from me?"
I think it's
So
pretty
you-
obvious. Or go ahead, Gal. You take it.
I was gonna say, I have to know. Is there some kind of greater agenda here? Do you answer to someone, or are you just a fat racist guy?
I don't exactly know what you mean. If I had to say, there was somebody who gave me the idea to move forward with running for mayor and everything. If that's what you mean.
Yeah, that sounds like something we'd want to know.
Was it Gabe?
No, it wasn't this Gabe. It wasn't Gabe. He's somebody else. It was well, I can't really make out the details of them, to be entirely honest with you. They wore sort of a cloak. It's like a fortune teller lady, I think. Might have been a man. I'm not sure.
How old is she?
I couldn't tell you.
Where did you meet her?
It was during one of the festivals we had a few months back.
Was she alone?
Yeah, she told she I think it was a she. She told me that it would be a very good idea if I were to run from there. That I have some very good things that, if when implemented in the future, would make the world a better place.
Did you tell her about these things, or did she seem to just know about these things?
She seemed to know. She told me that my beliefs are correct. That making the cities for each individual ones was the best thing to do. Like it was. There were many things that she said that I believed, but I never thought I would actually do. But she told me that I could, and it would make things better.
Did she give you anything, or did she just tell you that you should do these things?
No, she just told me that I should. Now, I don't know who she is. I don't remember her face even. I barely even remember if it was a woman.
What was the festival for?
Oh, it was one of our festivals where we were celebrating the excommunication of the Dark Six from the Sovereign Host.
Dark Six again.
Funny you should say that.
Did anybody else talk to this person that you could see?
Well, no, I thought it was some sort of symbol from perhaps the gods themselves, because I found her. She gave me the advice. And she was at what appeared to be some sort of a table. I thought she might have been a fortune teller or something along those lines. But when I left, I turned and tried to find her again, and well, she just ended up disappearing.
You found her. She didn't find you.
Well, kinda. I was walking by and she called out to me.
And what kind of clothes was she wearing?
Just very dark, very, very black robes.
Okay, I'm done. And then I turn away from him and I start walking out the door, and I
Now,
gesture to...
you understand that I can't really leave this place, and I might be killed if you just leave me here.
Oh, we are well aware.
Well,
we
wait.
don't really want the blood on our hands, though.
He is, from my understanding, very well connected with the Merchants Guild. So I'm not sure what the second order of effects would be if we let him die.
What do you think this mob that I just created is going to do if we lead him outside with us? They could think that he...
There are ways around this. What, does anybody really care if he doesn't die?
I mean, he has enough capital to do this exact same thing somewhere else. And I wouldn't mind getting my name out there as someone who's anti-establishment.
I'm gonna like say what I want to do, and I guess I'll ask Lundy like what you want me to roll. So I'm gonna I guess it'd be I'm gonna say, I feel like it's already an intimidation, but I'm gonna take my rapier and kind of like point it towards his neck and say, you're not gonna just do this again, right? You're gonna take your money and your stuff and you're gonna go to another town and be a normal person who doesn't push
I'll just be a regular merchant. I'll just be a regular merchant who just does the normal things that I do to build my wealth. That's all I'll do. I won't try and get in politics no more.
Insight check. I want to do an insight check to see if
I just did one too, yeah. Well, I mean, if you also explicitly said you want to, I mean, unless Lundy doesn't approve, then
up to you, Lundy.
He did say it as I was like literally rolling it. So it wasn't like I was like, oh, you know.
The phrasing that he gives is that he won't be a politician anymore, and that he'll just do what a merchant does to make money. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he won't still influence politics. And it's a sort of a loophole that he's allowed for himself in his phrasing.
I say he is so prejudiced against those who look different from himself and look different from being human. Let's just cut off his face. He'll experience the same issues. He'll experience the same prejudice as everyone else. Just cut off his nose. Cut off his nose.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. What if we seize his wealth and put out a decree that we're not just out here redistributing the wealth of any rich person, but rather those who intend to discriminate and disseminate fear and hatred into the world. We're not after wealth, but we are after people who use their wealth to make the world a worse place. And we redistribute the wealth.
All due respect, son, if what you're saying is you want gold only from the places in which it is ill-gotten, perhaps, or tainted, I'll go ahead and say that you're not going to find a gold piece that doesn't have blood on it.
I'll be the judge and jury that decides that.
Hey, as a warning, if we axe this guy, you don't think we'll like motivate people who share his views? Like he will have died as a direct result of
I think
perceived
and also
non-human aggression.
also his connections would like alert him at like, hey, somebody's trying to fucking probably find you guys, like, and hunt them down because the Gabriel dude is dead now, and then this guy is gonna die next. So we're like literally alerting of our presence that we're hunting for.
I just want to fuck this guy. I don't want him to be able to do this again. I mean, he
Let's
just has a
cut
fuck
off
ton of
his
capital.
nose. He's not going to be able to do it anymore if he doesn't have a face.
We're like saying this in front of him, right? So he's like shitting his pants.
Yeah,
I guess.
he's extremely.
We're
anxious
literally
about
just
the
like,
situation.
literally just like, just fucking just cut
Yeah,
one
one person
eye
being
off.
like, I just want to kind of like fuck with him a bunch. I just want to take everything that he has, and then you got two other people being like, I don't know, that might make him a martyr. Then another person being like, cut off his fucking nose. Like,
I mean, it's like that's the best compromise we have. Is we can't let him go away. If you disfigure him, he will be shunned by society, and he will no longer be able to influence anything.
There's no one to pin his death on, though. If we kill him, we're gonna be the rich
No one knows who
murdering.
we are.
Why don't we capture him?
What are we gonna do with
Yeah, what do
him?
we
Bring
do
him
with
back to fucking what's his face, the ranger dude, Jeremy.
Glub.
There's a lot of complications.
But there is an order that Jeremy is a part of who might be able to.
I agree. This is like
that are
this is.
I think this is probably like the best. I like that solution.
Okay, but you realize the complication in toting this guy around for at least overnight, and then we get a carriage for the next day, which is a day and a half of travel.
Look, we can
wait.
transform
Why don't we?
Oh no,
just,
wait. We're going. How far is Well, I guess can I do like an
Appleton? No, it was like a day's
excerpt
carriage ride.
excerpt or whatever.
During this time, I yell at the guy and I tell him to strip.
Yeah, strip him.
Oh Jesus Christ, dude!
I don't think.
I don't
Well,
wanna see that.
I mean, sure.
I start if he says that I use my druid craft to create like a small little flame in my hand that he.
I'll take off my clothes. I'm just saying
Because we can tote him around outside, and people won't think he's a threat if we're parading him around naked.
Yeah, if he's
then
naked
we can.
You don't think it's gonna make him? Okay, never mind. Sorry, continue.
We could do like a shame thing from Game of Thrones.
Wait, how
Yeah.
far is the town that Jeremy said he was gonna be in?
from where you guys are, it's probably about like probably another 3 days travel on foot.
And a carriage would be what, like a day and a half?
Yeah.
Shame.
Well,
Me
yeah,
and
let's
Bro
just
can ride
parade him
riding
through
horses,
the.
by
Okay,
the
we're
way.
not gonna hurt
Yeah,
him.
that's right.
Let's just strip him naked, parade him through the street. He gets shamed upon. Take him to Leah's tavern.
What if somebody literally just jumps out of the crowd and stabs him?
We have
Whoa.
4 people that led this rebellion. I think people will kind of know not to fuck with us. Or at
we
least
can like
me.
rope him. We can tie him down, right? With
Yeah,
ropes
tie
and
his
shit.
arms and so it's not. Yeah, make it very obvious that. Is there a way we can just cover him up? I don't know.
I want that staff to go like right between his butt cheeks and it's going right up his back or whatever, you know? So he's gonna like walk like real upright. And we can like tie like a rope around his butt cheeks or whatever to keep it like in his crack, you know?
Oh god.
I'm okay with this plan explicitly as those conditions are met.
Okay, we do that. He's naked. We're gonna tie him up and put. Let's just put a bag over his head, though.
I want this. I want the cane in between.
Yes,
his
we'll
butt
put
cheeks,
it that way. Okay, we'll put it that way. I'm not against
I
it.
just want to
Okay.
make it very clear that I just want the cane in between.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not
This
against
is
that.
very important to me.
Because I imagine this dude's pretty thick, right? He's probably got some thick cheeks, you know? You can really get some gripping motion there. I want it.
Christ.
Okay,
Oh,
we get him that way. We get him all set up. He's tied up. Do we put a bag over his head? I think we should. I mean, he's fat. People will know, but they won't
Yeah,
really.
probably.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
it's
probably.
part of the whole thing. We got to make him look like he's closely our prisoner. He didn't
Yeah.
sway us with anything.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
embarrassed.
Dude, Jeremy's going to be like, what the fuck?
I mean, we can clothe. No, once we get out of the city, we can clothe him. But this is just to get him outside of his building.
Well,
so
even
people don't
like,
think
I
it's
feel
a
like
threat.
even clothed, like, we're going to bring him this guy. And we're like, dude, we like fucking
Seized-
murdered his guard entourage and captured this dude.
We fucking seized him. He was so
Now,
we
here,
have tried to
discontent with it.
assassinate our paladin.
Well, he's like doing stuff. You think you'll be able to like, all right, let me just stash this guy away and like,
Yeah.
Fuck it. This'll work. This'll work. Jeremy will understand because he has like a
just gotta
secret
get him
coven
to
of
Jeremy.
people.
What Jeremy does with him is his decision.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can just send him free. I don't give
That's
a
out of
fuck.
our
Like,
hands.
but I
It's
want
out of our
yeah.
hands.
Okay, sorry. Oh yeah, fuck it, dude. Let's go.
Let's
I'm in.
go.
I'm in.
Alright.
Tie him up.
All right, I'm gonna
Christ
spend them.
almighty, guys. All right. So
I want to be
Naked.
in front. I want the front door to open, and I want to be in front because I was on the pedestal talking, orating to everyone, and hopefully people will recognize me as someone. Oh, it's him. Ooh, wow. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, that guy.
And
who, like,
he's
shit
following behind
being
us.
Talking.
Yeah.
You strip him naked. His cane is sort of placed in between his butt cheeks for some reason. That was necessary. He's got a bag over his head, I think, was what you said.
Yeah. It's a funny image, right?
You gotta have an
And
active.
you take down the barricade that's sort of keeping the front door nice and closed, and you unlock the front door, and Ryder goes out first and just sort of like holds up his hands, lets everybody know everything's cool. You sort of bring out Uriah, who's all naked and such, and all the mob sort of like starts like jeering at him. Little pebbles are being thrown at him. People are throwing like fucking fruits and vegetables that they fucking have for some reason. Probably looted it earlier. You're not entirely certain. Glove rings the bell. I don't know where Glove got a bell. These guys start escorting Gorion through the town, where the crowd is. They haven't dispersed, but they are following as you sort of like lead him through. They might be expecting something. You don't know.
You're going to like move your token or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay,
Because he's gonna have to move Gorion to follow you or whatever.
Yeah. So we're down here.
Shit.
Okay, I guess I'll stand back up on the box and.
No one say anything. Just walk out.
I guess I'll
Oh, am I not saying anything? Or
No, I don't know if
well,
you
he
want
said
to.
people were following. I don't want.
Yeah,
Them...
there's like a group of people who are just like sort of following you to see what the fuck you're gonna be doing with this guy.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up on the box. I'll be like, I want you guys to like encircle him as guards. Like, I don't want people fucking with him. You know, they can throw tomatoes and shit, but make sure nobody's like gonna run up and stab him. Okay. Okay. Sure. I want to say something to the effect of, I know for many this is a long-awaited moment, and for people who share the sentiment that Gorion shares, I promise you that is not a road you want to go down. Please understand and learn from the neighbors that we share this land with. We have Gorion in our custody now, and we are going to be bringing him somewhere to a group of people who are a group of trusted people who will know what the proper way to move forward in his punishment will be. I implore you, people of Profar, tear down that wall.
Or keep it up, you know. It's good defense for the city.
Yeah, it's
but
not that bad.
you can let other people in without tearing the wall down.
Metaphorically, we will tear down the wall.
It's actually not a bad wall.
Yeah.
Really well built. I agree. Yeah.
This, don't like keep people outside of it. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. This wall will no longer keep people that he depicts as deplorables out, but will protect the many different people, orcs, dwarfs, elves alike, inside of its walls, nurturing the love for one another that everyone in this town has deep down inside. Metaphorically, tear down the walls of hate. And then we start leading him to Leah's tavern.
Okay, wait. I'm going in first. Stop.
Before you do so, roll me a persuasion check.
Come on, please give me a good one. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. All right. You kind of confuse them a little bit with the metaphors, but it's fine. All of them seem to understand for the most part what it is you were trying to explain to them.
Cool.
So you're all like leading him into Leah's?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in first, and I'm gonna say Leah because we're on a first name basis now.
What's going on, Gil?
I'm sorry for what you're about to see, but please consider this a favor to me, and I'll make it up to you later. And then I shoot her like a sly wink.
Jesus.
Better be
And
something
then
good.
we
What
wheel this fat body into her inn.
She sort of like regards it for a second, and then she just sort of like glances around it. And whose idea was it to put his cane in between his ass?
Don't worry about it. But it is a nice touch, right?
I mean, I guess if that's what you're going for. So what exactly do you want me to do with this?
We're keeping him here overnight.
Just for the night.
Obviously, you're the innkeeper, so if you really
Yeah,
don't
I
want
suppose
him
he can probably share a room with the pigs.
That's fair. We'll post a guard so no
yeah.
shenanigans happens. But as long as you're okay with him being under this roof, then we're gonna whisk him away tomorrow morning.
We'll just make sure that he's tied up and everything. I'm honestly a little shocked, honestly, still I mean, you just walked into town 4 days later, you're bringing the mayor naked, tied up.
There's a cane in his ass.
And the cane. I'll be honest, this is not how I expected my week to go.
But you're not mad about it, right?
No, I mean, he was doing a lot of terrible shit. So, like, I can't really be mad about you doing this. It's just, it comes as a bit of a shock.
Efficient, right?
What can I say, Leo?
very
That's what we go for.
Life comes at you fast. And then I lead Gorion into the. I guess.
And Grind says, "Yikes! Why leak this shit?"
I lead Grind to wherever the pig sties are.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, but you're fucking.
You alright?
Dude, he's
I'm not
dying.
okay. I've laughed so hard tonight. Holy shit! Oh god!
It's a good time. It's a good time. Had a lot of fun tonight.
Oh.
All right. So you guys are going to be keeping him in the inn for the night anyway, before you decide to get up and go for your next destination.
Sure.
After Gorion is nice and sealed up and everybody is sort of like resting a little bit, Gil, you do receive a visitor in the night.
Yes.
Oh.
Wait. Do I get to
How
like roll to
dare
see like
you.
what my like performance is like?
Sure you can.
What do you want me to roll?
We'll go with a con check.
Oh god, here we go.
Roll
Like a
for
save-
stamina.
Jesus.
2 pump chump. Roll.
This
for
okay.
stamina.
This is the only roll of the fucking night that matters. All right. Here, this make or break right here. Do or die.
Nat one.
What a disappointment.
Disappointing.
He undoes his pants.
And then,
And I'm spent.
roll me a charisma check to see if like it's that much of a problem.
The motion of the
Um,
ocean or the size of the boat.
Fuck, dude.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Leah's never talking to me again, dude. It's over.
Fuck.
Micro penis.
By the end of the next 10 minutes, she sort of
10 minutes.
she lets you know that this is probably not going to work. Before sort of giving you a pat on the shoulder and leaving your room.
All right. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. We'll get them next time.
He even gave you a motion of the ocean check instead of a size of the boat check.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Okay, we need guards for fucking Gorion. Stop fucking around.
It sounds like you're not busy tonight, RNA, so why don't you stand guard?
Well, I'm also the only one of us who's like injured, so maybe somebody else should do it
God.
first.
I'm literally uninjured completely. I'll stand guard.
Okay.
I want
So-
one other person with me, whether or not it's hired or not. I don't care. I could tell Lee when she comes out of RNA or when she comes out of Gil's room to grab that elf guy that she told us about if he's still in the city square.
Yeah, she doesn't have too much of a problem doing that.
Okay. I want him to stand
Okay.
guard with me.
He'll come by and sort of and nod to you as he approaches. So, got ourselves a bit of a piggy here, don't we?
That's a good way to put it. Wouldn't mind your help tonight, standing guard.
Well, I doubt anybody's going to actually do anything. A fucking violent mob scared a lot of people.
Yeah, hopefully people will be celebrating tonight with the freedom and unity that we've installed back into the city.
Possibly, but but you did kind of depose the mayor forcibly, which, considering that you guys are also outsiders and you're not exactly authority figures, kind of means that kind of makes you bandits in a way.
Yeah, but we're morally good bandits.
I mean,
Anyway.
I'm not going to argue that the effects are what I wanted, but
you know
I'm just
what?
saying.
There are larger pieces at play. It will all come together one day.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm fine with it. I've just been wanting that guy out of power since he got put into it. So fair play to you. But I will say that you're probably going to be leaving this place nice and scared and disorganized now that we don't have a leader. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for them to decide to hold another election, but there's going to be people who are going to be very scared to actually run, considering what happened to the last mayor.
Well, why don't you put my name on a ballot and see how that goes?
I'm not entirely certain that'd be a great idea.
Why don't you run?
I'm not really interested in doing the whole mayor thing. That's not my deal. I don't do that sort of thing. I have my specialties, and it's not about being in charge for me.
You don't know anybody who would be a good candidate?
Hell, I guess Leah could.
Leah.
We should instill everywhere we go. We should instill like a council.
Install somebody who's like indebted to you,
But like a
way
council,
and,
no, like multiple people. Like I don't like my thing is like I fucking hate like monarchies and like dictatorship type shit. So like we should have like
singular
a council.
people in charge.
Yeah, we should have like a council of like 3 or 5 people. Like Leah has her ear to the ground, and then I don't know.
Hello?
Hey.
Hi.
Well, I can see the idea there, but the problem is it's going to be such a major overhaul to the way that things are done. It's going to take a long time to get that established.
Anything can start with a grassroots movement.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just going to take a while, is all. A lot of people are going to be willing to overturn a lot of the ways in which things are done. Definitely going to have to work on moving everybody back into the city. That's going to be a process on its own.
Maybe we could come back in a couple weeks and see how things are progressing, and maybe we could help it along.
All things considered, while I appreciate what you did, and while I'm sure there's a lot of other people who are going to appreciate what you did, there's going to be a lot of other people who are going to see you guys and think that you're here to start another riot. So, might be best if you kept your distance for a little while.
Possibly.
What do you mean start another riot? The guards did the first move.
That's true, but the problem is that the whole thing started because you guys decided to hold a protest.
I don't know if that's
Peaceful
exactly
protest.
logical.
Sure, but that's the way that they're going to see it.
They, as in
You can't just argue with every single individual.
Well, that's why you make them naked and you put a cane in their ass.
I mean, that's what you do with some of them, I guess. What I'm saying is there's a public perception. Now, while that perception might be in your favor for some people, it's not going to be in your favor for others. There's not a lot you can do about that, unfortunately.
Leah, why don't you run for
mayoral council?
To be honest, I think I could probably do a council thing. Being the actual person in charge would kind of take away from my ability to run this place, which, I mean, this is kind of my life, so that would be a little weird. But if we did set up something like that, I could probably be part of it.
Yeah, you could be like the travel and hospitality council member.
All right. So I am gonna make a fucking pitch to them or whatever. So we've known you guys for what, like 5 days ish.
Yeah.
Because we did a couple time skips or whatever. We've known you guys for a little bit. I would like to say that we're like fairly good judges of character. Leah, I know you have a pretty good, strong sense of morals, and you are empathetic and compassionate to humans and non-humans alike. Erdith, you are a friend of hers, and we've talked to you as well. You seem to be pretty aware of the goings on and how things should be. I don't see a problem, with leaving you two, I guess, in charge of your respective demographics, as it were, to figure out other council members. Maybe like 2 apiece for a total of 6. 3 non-humans, 3 humans, to kind of coexist and figure this stuff out while people get their shit together.
That's uneven representation, though.
No, it's 3 and 3.
Yeah, but 3 humans and then 3 separate non-human species.
Yeah, but then you look at the population where it's
Oh, okay,
4,000
yeah.
humans and 1,000 non-humans.
True. Okay.
So proportionality, actually. So Leah thinks about this for a bit and says, I think this is something that we could possibly do. However, I think that actually outlining this in the first place is going to have to come after an election. So let's say we have somebody be a mayor for a bit, and then they set up the new system. That way, at the very least, we can get a lot of the things that need done now, like moving everybody back in the city, giving people their jobs back, stuff like that, while also simultaneously setting up the whole council thing.
The only problem with that on our end is that we literally don't know anybody else really in this city.
I'd be okay with being temporary mayor, I guess, for maybe a few weeks to make sure everything gets going, just to get the ball rolling.
Okay, let me I guess in my time like at the end or whatever, and talking to her and seeing her interact with other people. Okay, have I noticed like she's like pretty well received, right? People, all the humans at least.
Oh yeah, nobody has any complaints about Leah.
Okay, and if she's a friend with Eridus, I'm assuming she doesn't have a problem with non-humans and.
Yeah, she was the first one to bring up the she was very passionate about explaining all the fucking dumb shit that the mayor was doing in the first place.
And after your position as mayor, I'm saying to her, you'd be okay just kind of returning like a council position to hold a seat on that council?
Yeah, I don't want to be mayor. It's just something I'm going to have to deal with for a sec.
Okay, well, I'm for this.
I'm for this too. Here's 17 gold to start your campaign fund.
How much did you give her?
17 gold.
Oh.
What the fuck?
That's
that'll be a good start.
I'll give her 25.
Flyers, yeah.
We're trying to bankroll her.
Yeah, I mean
that'll be good. I'll be able to do a pretty good job, I think. Now that he's out, it's probably going to be me versus. You know what? It's probably not going to be a whole lot of people who want to run, considering what just happened to Gorion. I'm thinking all the rich people probably want to step back for a bit.
I'm sure if you talk to the people who come into this inn, even that alone. Showing your true heart's content, they'll be able to tell that you're a genuinely good person and not money hungry or power hungry. So hopefully that's a good way to start. Maybe we'll check back in a couple weeks.
True heart's content. Do you read a lot of romance novels?
I'm free balling
it. Well, impressive. Sure. I'll see about putting myself in a position to be mayor and then set up a whole council thing. I'll probably have to talk to some people about how to set that whole thing up. And then we'll get everything nice and reorganized here. And by the time you end up coming back, maybe in a couple months or so, everything will be good to go.
Sounds great. We're going to take care of Piggy here, but we'll be staying here for the night. And
what are you planning on doing with him anyway?
We have a couple friends we'd like to have him talk to, but I'd love to leave it at that.
Okay, that is not at all suspicious.
He's out of power, isn't he?
Nobody responds to her.
Nobody responds. I turn and lock the key to Piggy's room, and I lean up against the door and then slide down and sit on my butt in front of the door.
All right. You've gotten through the day. You've led yourself a nice little mini revolution, and you've deposed a tyrant.
Hell yeah!
All in all, a pretty good day.
Yeah, holy shit.
Pretty good week, I guess.
Yeah.
Things turned out pretty good for you. Plus, you got an egg out of it that has high value. Not going to be able to sell it in any store, but
right. Maybe like a fence or something.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, that was that was essentially the story of the town of Profar, or at the very least, as it currently is. Yeah, that was pretty good. You guys were very efficient with your time on that one. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. And the next session, we're going to go ahead and reconvene with Jeremy over at the town of Eckhurst and see what's going on with him and see what he can do with your newly acquired piggy man, Gorion. So, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll go down the list here. Tabor, your channel, you're first.
Tabor snapping on all my social media. Appreciate you guys for coming out. We had like a average of like 55 viewers tonight. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm RNA. I don't have social media on stream, so you can sub and follow Tabor and Big Lundi. Yeah.
I'm Chenners. Yeah, same. Do that.
I'm New Salsa. I got a new computer coming in tomorrow, so I'm gonna start doing more casual streams like I used to in the past. So twitch.tv/New Salsa if you want to stop by there.
Hell yeah.
And of course,
These
I am
glasses
your...
have to stay because plastic eye surgery. I'm not this big of a douche. It's too bright.
That's fine. You look great in them. And I am your DM, Big Lundi. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/big_Lundi. And you can find me on Twitter at big_Lundi. And as well as YouTube, big_Lundi. Hey, you guys for coming. Yeah, that came out as a bunch of words that were compressed together. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate all of you guys. Have yourselves a phenomenal night. I love you. Stay safe and don't die.
Peace out.
Bye.